She's a manipulative dog. Like, it's a manipulative dog.
Dogs are manipulative. Yeah, they all are, though. Like, look, that's the only species that really got into our home. So they know how to adapt and figure things out.
I never give up on any animal. I will do it, anything to able to continue and to give a chance to the dog.
I call her the no fun police. If I'm not there, Riley thinks it's her job to tell her stop.
So that's like what we do in the dog park, right? When I bring the dogs to the park, from 0 to 10, we tolerate 0 to 5. Year 5 is like right around the time where he's going to think about nipping and mouthing. A lot of people are thinking like, what's the program? Like, do I go to this program and then I get
piece of paper that says I'm certified kind of thing?
The reason I say about the certifications is like, I was certified by these things early in my career because I thought you're supposed to. And it was like, I want to be a certified trainer. Fill out this application, send in a check, and then go to some local testing center and do a multiple choice test. Anyway, I was certified, but that meant nothing. It was a piece of paper that I paid for. A lot of the veterinary community, not all, but most, is like very, very fast to push the pills. Because the vet behaviorists, they don't really know. They know to be like, oh, the dog seems stressed. Like, give it the fluoxetine. Why are we giving pills? Let's help this dog overcome it. And antibiotics literally wipe everything out of the gut. Like, there's humans, like adults, who have dysregulated guts for their whole life. When the billionaire calls me and I have a dog who's aggressive and I have no protection on, there's no program or no dog training book or anything that can make me stay calm in that moment. A little update on the content, and then we'll get into the questions. We'll get into bringing people on live and asking questions. So this is what I'm planning to do, guys, with you is my goal for 2026 is to do this weekly. I'm going to really like work hard on getting that done. I'm trying my best. I'm going to do my best to get this all scheduled and make sure that we have a live like this every week. It's just that I want to be able to like work with you guys and talk with you and give as much free content as I possibly can. You know, obviously I've been dealing with some nonsense with like Instagram, with this copyright. Like, it's not so much like that it's copyright. It's just the whole process that happens with this thing that I'm dealing with. So you guys have probably noticed that I haven't posted. I don't even know. I think it's been like 2 weeks now. So I've been really working behind the scenes on getting prepared for 2026. So that's what I'm trying to do is I'll give you guys, if you're here, this is what you guys are going to give it. So next year, we're going to get back with the video reviews for sure. We're planning to do that in the near future. So video reviews will be back. I promise you that's happening. I'm working a ton behind the scenes. I'm making sure we're all good with that. We're going to be adding in these Q&As, which I plan to do weekly for the whole year. Every single week, we're going to do at least a 1 to 2 hour Q&A, sometimes 3 hours, depending on how much time we have. Or you guys can come on and ask me anything. It's free. There's no charge for this thing. So I'm going to do this weekly. We're going to be bringing the podcast. We're going to be bringing a podcast. So I've been talking about it forever. I did a little bit of a podcast and then I just got so busy with work that I wasn't able to maintain it. So I'm going to be bringing that back where we're going to be bringing guests on from the dog industry. And then I plan to, as time goes on, start bringing on even more people, like bringing on psychiatrists and psychologists and everyone, anything doing would be somewhatly related to dogs. So why would I bring a psychiatrist? Because people need to have self-awareness and be able to deal with their traumas and be able to be the best version of themselves and be calm, confident to deal with a dog. So that's the things we're going to do. And then we're going to be also doing so I do video calls, these video virtual consultations. It's just like this, but I'll be talking one-on-one with just some person. There's no audience, right? So I do those every day, year round. And what we're going to be doing is sharing some clips of those. So any like highlight moment or some really good piece of information that I think would be valuable to share with you guys, I'm going to be clipping those out and sharing them publicly. So that's what we're dealing with. Everything's good on the lives. We're all good. Everyone's live here. We're awesome. I just want to post and talk to you guys, but it's not the easiest to be able to manage all this tech. So I have Andre here, who basically is our behind the scenes videographer, media guy. I have Jamie here, who's the president of the company, and she helps me with all of our media stuff. So I have a little bit of help here, but let's get the party started here. This is another thing to note. So in the comments, I see you guys already asking questions. So they're going to be taking notes of the questions that are in there. And if there's any good questions, I'll answer them in between some of the stuff. If not, then we're going to take them and I'll answer them separately later on. So that's going to be the goal with this. I'll do my best to get to everybody. I'm one person, so I'm trying to get to everybody and give you guys as much as I possibly can. So let's get into the Q&A. We're 5 minutes of an intro. That's not bad. I was going to say, when I was doing this, I would do I'm going to keep it short. And I was I'll do 15, 20 minutes of an intro. It's 30-minute intro. All right, so we'll do 5-minute intros. Good. So who are we going with first? All right, Alexander, are you ready? Yep, he's ready. Here we go. Alexander.
Hey, first of all, I just want to thank you. Since I've been following you, I have been able to communicate with my dogs way, way better.
I love it.
So thank you for that.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Yes. So my question mainly is about resource guarding, particular food. So just a little side story. I have 3 dogs. All rescues, 2 are from the street. One we actually found as a 10-month-old puppy in the park, underfed and sick. we have reasons to believe that she known actual hunger. And so with her, the resource guarding is the worst.
Who is
Actually,
she guarding it? Is she guarding it from you or from the other dogs?
It used to be from me and my wife. Well, we got to a part now that she kind of tolerates us around the food. We still have to be careful because she still does like the low head and the sometimes she barks at us. But in general, I'm allowed to touch the food now after 3 years of working with it. So now it's in a situation that she just terrifies my other dogs. When she has food, sometimes she doesn't eat it, she picks it up and she hides it somewhere in the house, and then the dogs are just terrified to come in the room with her and so forth. So we tried like a lot of things. The first thing that I read online was like never take the food away, always keep the bowl full. And we did that for months and no real improvement there.
Yeah, because she's just going to have more food to go hide.
Yes, basically. But I read like there was a psychology thing that she will learn that there's always food.
Yeah, I get the theory, but
yeah,
clearly it wasn't effective.
No, and then I tried hand feeding her, and I did that for weeks, and also with chewing sticks that she chews it out of my hand. I even did with chewing sticks that she bites it for 1 second and then the other dogs bite it for 1 second, and like when I'm there, everything kind of works.
Okay.
Once we had a professional dog trainer, he actually recommended correcting and all these adversive things.
Yeah.
And I felt that made everything worse. So I stopped that after a week.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm questioning what would you suggest for me to try?
So what happens now? What's the biggest problem right now?
Right now that she just terrifies the other dogs. We try to feed her in my office, like in another room, but like she also hides it in the dog beds or in the couch, and
so that's the part we have to prevent, is her like taking the food and being able to leave and go do all that stuff, because then she puts it there and then it switches. Now she has it hidden and now she claims it.
Yeah.
So if we prevent her, because my point is you could like challenge her there, like that other trainer probably wanted you to do, was like, yeah, let her get the food and then go challenge her. It's like, well, you can do that, but I would just see, can I prevent her from, like, this is what I would do. If she, so what does she do? You feed, you put the bowl down, and then she comes to eat the food, or how does the feeding ritual go?
Normally I put the food, I make her sit and all the things, and then I tell her to go, and it really depends. Sometimes she doesn't eat it straight away. I got the feeling like she's hungry, but she's like guarding it for a reason, so she doesn't eat it. So lately I have been putting a little bit of olive oil on it, so she actually eats it straight away, and that also helps preventing the guarding because it's finished. But in general, that's how it goes. I put her in a different room, I feed her, I leave her alone, because if I'm there, sometimes she eats, sometimes she's just looking at me and guarding it.
So even if you're there, so she's still guarding it from you guys? Or you just feel like or you just feel tension when she's eating when you're present?
Tension more like. It feels like she's just not sure what's going to happen, and she's, like I notice when she's like alone, she eats the best.
Mm-hmm. And if you're walking around near her, what happens?
She gets tense. Like she does the low head over the football. Sometimes she gives like a bark, but that's generally hasn't happened for months anymore.
Have you ever tried bringing like higher value food while she's eating?
Not really. So I should get a piece of chicken or something, and then
but not come to her bowl and just put it in there, because she's still going to be hesitant about your approach. So I'd rather her like get her food, right, and then you come in there and you have a strong scent, which could be the chicken, right, or steak or whatever. Something has a good scent. And my goal would be for her to pick up that scent before she's worried about your approach.
Okay.
So then what's going to happen, ideally, is that she starts eating her kibble. Oh, you feed her kibble? Is it kibble you feed her?
Kibble,
okay.
Mostly,
So she's eating kibble, eating her. Does she eat fast? She doesn't eat that fast, you said, right? She kind of like here and there eats a little bit?
Not anymore. She used to like swallow everything, but we got the slow feeder, and she just eats slow now.
All right, two things what I would potentially change. One would be, instead of putting the food down and having her move to the food, like with the release that you're doing, it might be better to just hold the food. Like if you were standing in the room, like you had her food and you brought it into her room with her, is she giving you shit from there or not yet?
No, she's just like...
she's going through the obedience. She's ready for like the sit, and then you're going to put it down, and then the okay and the release. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I would do differently potentially there is like come in and instead of putting the food down, just hold the food and wait. And when she gives you the sit, what you're going to be focused on is like, is she sitting excited, waiting for me to like put it, or is she actually sitting a little bit more relaxed? It might take a little time there to wait a little bit. This is where the patience that a lot of humans struggle with. I'm not saying you, but a lot of people are like, well, how long am I supposed to wait? You know? And I'm like, well, until she calms down, you know? And they're like, well, how long is that going to be? I don't know your dog. You know him better than me. So it might take some time for that dog. So always on the front end, you can always drain some energy before doing this ritual. So then I would come in. My point is I would come in with the food. And I would just hold the food instead of putting down and having her sit and do all that. I would just hold the food. And if she's like, I'm confused what to do, you could still tell her to sit down, sit. Good girl. And then you just wait for a little bit and you're going to see that her either like start saying, hurry up and put the food down, which you won't give it to her there. Or she's going to eventually say, how do I get this food? And she's going to settle a little bit. And then you come and just present it to her.
Yeah.
Because it comes to her. Because the reason like I say this thing about the feeding thing is for me, I mean, this is just for me. I think with that kind of thing, people do it right up to the final part, which is like they put the food down and do that release thing. But if you think about it from the dog's perspective, a lot of times the humans are focused on the physical obedience, right? So the dog's sitting. So I got what I wanted, but I'm like, okay, but what's the mindset? What is the mind? Is the mind excited? Is the mind anxious, fearful, calm? What is it, right? So a lot of times the mind's excited. So the dog sits stationary, quiet, but mind is excited. And then the human says, okay. So then the last thing that happened was I excitedly moved to the food.
Yeah.
You see it? So now that was the last, even though everything you did of like the preparation, she's at a distance, everything's great. It's just the last thing was the fast to the food. So now she gets the food. She's like, I got it. So it can trigger these resource guarding dogs to be like, I got it from him. Okay. So now I have it. Why is he still here?
Yeah.
Why is he moving like that? I don't like that. Right. So I want to switch that mentality for her. That's the beginning part. Second part would be then I would do you ever leave a leash on her?
In the house?
Yeah.
You mean? Not anymore. Not since she became a grown up.
So let me ask you if she took some of the food. So what does she do? She eats the food and then she's watching you and then she'll take some out and just leave?
Yes. Well, it really depends. Like I haven't seen a pattern. Like sometimes she eats it, sometimes she just takes it, and then she sneaks upstairs. You see her like in the sneaking, and then she's trying to bury it in the dog bed. And
what if you go near that dog bed? She has a problem with it?
Not anymore.
Okay.
Not anymore. She because what I did, like when she put it there, instead of taking it away, I took it and I fed it to her. And then she doesn't want to eat, but then I make her give paw and then make it a reward. And then she eats it somehow. So
Okay. Have you ever done, where do you live, by the way?
I live in Mexico.
Okay. What you may want to consider with this dog, this is like a little outside the box, but you may want to consider finding like a company online that could do like a microbiome check of her gut.
Okay.
So you're going to check, you're going to send in a stool sample. They'll basically send you a kit. You send in a stool sample, and you're going to see what's going on with the bacteria in the gut. Because that could also be part of this whole thing, too, of like, her gut could be a little agitated. Again, she was on the street, so we don't know like what her deal was and stuff. And that could also be.
It was 3 years ago, though.
It could still be, though. It could still be. Like, there's humans, like adults, who have dysregulated guts for their whole life. They don't even realize it because they just never did anything about it. So it's just something outside the box to check into, because I don't make the best point of this, and I'm trying to make the point for everybody in here right now, that when we're doing stuff with dogs' behavior, we always do want to rule out anything physical. Because I've had it. I have had it times where there's certain dogs who come here and like we're doing all the stuff that we normally do, and most dogs respond to it, and the dog's not responding in the way that, or it just feels off to me. And that's almost always when I do that gut check to see what's going on in the gut. Because you know what it is in this dog industry, so many people, I shouldn't say some people, a lot of the veterinary community, not all, but most of the veterinary community is like very, very fast to push the pills. Right. And they're pumping antibiotics for everything. And antibiotics literally wipe everything out of the gut, including good bacteria. Yeah. So yeah, it gets the bad stuff out, but it also gets the good stuff out. So, which is okay. I'm not saying antibiotics are bad, but you have to repair that. So that's through prebiotics and probiotics. And then by getting a picture of what's going on in the gut, you might know you're going to know what to add into her diet. So my point is that's not going to solve the problem, but we want to also always rule that out, you know? The idea of leaving the food out forever, I understand that theory, but to me, like I said, I think it's going to just give her more opportunity to be like, let me go get this food and go hide it. And then I can claim it from the dogs and practice my thing. So what I would do with that stuff is I would keep a leash on her. And then you're standing maybe by like the doorway or wherever. And then when she goes to grab the food and say, all right, I'm going to leave, you can just calmly step on the leash and just remind her she's not allowed to leave. Like, nah, you know what I mean? Nope, come back in. And if she's like, oh, I don't want to eat anymore, then you calmly go over and pick up the food. Take it away.
Yeah.
And then if she's ever going towards any of the other dogs or any like going near their food, or even the idea of like you put the dog's feeding over there and she starts to like look and fixate and starts to even think about it, you can tell her no and go back.
Yeah, that's what I try to do, because with the eldest dog, she doesn't even really try to steal it, but with our youngest one, she has this look and like, I'm going to steal your food. So the youngest one is like really afraid to eat even when she's in the room sometimes. So
she like
I
bullies
always
her.
step in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I step in between and I tell her to go to her bed.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do, because that you're just stepping in and preventing her from bullying the other dog. So you're saying I've claimed the softer dog. You're not allowed to bully her and take her food. Yeah. So yeah, those are the adjustments I would make. You know, like it's one of these things. I agree. Like with this resource guarding thing, it's so many people deal with it. And there's so many different theories out there. There is like different approaches I'll do depending on the dog. Is it a sensitive back of the pack? Is this like just an excited middle? Is it a super confident dominant front? Like, what are we dealing with here? It sounds like your girl's more back of the pack. It sounds like to me, right?
Yeah, she's scared a lot.
Yeah.
And,
so she's more back. So and it's very a lot of the back of the packs do become resource guardy because they know internally that they're weak.
Yeah.
So they become proactive and say like, because she probably had to deal with this crap on the streets for sure. So she learned to defend the food and guard her food, and she's probably a softer dog that the other dogs were stronger and could push her off food and stuff. So now she's just super proactive.
She's also like smaller than the average dog. So
yeah. So those are the things.
help.
Those are the main things I would say is the approach. So first, when you're bringing the food, instead of putting it down, doing the fast thing, right? You just put it down. You have it in your hand. You have it in your hand. You wait for her to calm all the way down, and you present it to her. Then you see what she does with the eating. If she starts to try to have the leash on her, if she starts to take the food away, you just step on the leash. No, come back in here. Remember, always calm but certain while you're doing it. Not like no or bad, that stuff. So always calm while you're doing it. Bring her back in. That's really it. And then I would also consider bringing some higher value stuff in there. While she's eating, you're like over here, and ideally, instead of her looking and hearing for you, what's that?
So she associates me and my wife as an high value thing during food, right?
Right.
That's the goal then.
Yeah, because no, this is yes, but it associates you with a high value food, but also that your approach, if you start walking or moving towards, that means food's gonna be there. Like high value food is coming. So it's not that you want to change her perspective of like when I'm eating, the dogs or my parents are going to come steal my food. You see it? So I want to change it to when the humans are moving around, do they have chicken?
Yeah.
Do they have steak? And then it's more
like
curious than tense guarding.
Yeah. I'll try that, and the bio gut check.
Yeah. And then the check to see what's going on with that. And then report back to me what you get with that. Do that for the next month and see what happens. Like, if there's anything along the way that you're like, I'm confused or I'm not sure if this is the right way to do it, send me a message.
I will.
Okay.
Okay.
What else? You got one more?
If I may, a small question.
Yes.
Okay, so it's about walking past triggers on the street.
Yeah.
Okay, just a disclaimer. With the 3 dogs, we're not perfect at all yet, but I'm getting there. I just one question. With my eldest dog, a lot of time what will happen that there's a trigger. I do step back. I tell him, okay, you walk with me, heel, and he will do that. He will not pull, but he will still have his ears like in high alert. He will whine past the other dog and everything. Does it mean like, okay, he's listening to me, I'm doing my job, or I still have some work to do to keep him calm?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a good question. So this is actually a really good topic that I've been meaning to talk about, which is I see a lot of trainers who have a dog who... Yeah, they're working with a client who has a dog like yours, who's reactive, and they focus on obedience to solve the emotional reaction and reactivity, which I think is part of the process, but not the whole process. So I'll explain it. So if I had your dog, I wouldn't be focusing right now. Like when I'm walking just with her, I would make her walk next to me or behind me, right? But when I come along certain things, I would, if I knew she had this problem, I'd be coming with a plan to be like, how can I help her overcome this excitement or this nervousness or this fear about this dog here, right? You get what I'm saying with this? It's not so much of like, let me just make her heel and blah, blah, blah. Okay, she knows those physical positions. The problem with that, though, which you have to think about, is if we don't deal with the reactivity in the sense of like she has a reaction, we tell her we disagree and bring her back. So she realizes, okay, I can't do that thing. I understand. And then the goal would be, what else could I do instead? Well, pay attention to me, stay next to me. We're going to go different directions. And then that's a good way to do it. The not so good way to do it, in my opinion, is she's nervous about a dog and she's starting to get excited and she's thinking about reacting. And we say heel. Because the problem with that is then down the road, you're making her heel and making her do this physical position when she's not feeling good. You see it? And then now she starts getting related that this heel thing and staying next to you thing, it doesn't feel so good.
No.
You see what I'm saying? I hope I'm being clear about this. So what I'm saying with this is I would deal with the reaction, not so much through obedience, but by teaching her we disagree with this reaction. We're saying we understand why you're reacting this way, girl, for the dog. We understand you. But this option of you going into fight state out of fight, flight, avoid, surrender, you going to fight state is not good for you. You're never overcoming anything. It's not good for us. Yeah. You're acting a fool. I can't control you on the walk type thing. So it's not good for anybody. So we can't do that option anymore. So we deal with that first. And then when she says, well, what the hell am I supposed to do? That's when I come with a lot of like some of the obedience, doing other things and doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
So we have to figure out the way of, this is what I'm saying, I believe, is that it's so much of like what I see the public doing is like the dog gets excited and wants to react or get over there, and then the public is doing everything possible to try to prevent this reaction. Where I'm like, the reaction is going to happen, and I'm going to try, if I have that dog coming here, how can I set it up so I can like, can I get a friend? Can I get, like for me, I have my staff here. So I just like, bring a dog out. I want you to come around the corner just like this so I can see how he reacts at the first sight, and then I can correct, like it's a setup, you know what I mean? So then they learn the concept of you're not supposed to react to the dogs. And then you see these dogs like confused. People think they get scared because they act different. They're like, what do I do? But they're confused because you think about it, for their whole life at the presence of a dog, they react.
Yeah.
And now today someone just said, boop, not allowed to do that. There's consequences for that. I was like, fuck, what am I supposed to do? So this is where people get confused in the dog training world, is they think, oh, so if you correct the dog, then she's going to hate dogs because you only corrected. If that's all you do with her, yeah. But that should be the first step. And then through telling her we don't want this reaction, then you can start getting her closer to dogs, spending more time with her around dogs, eventually get her with other dogs, potentially with the help of a trainer, somebody get her around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the thing is, our dogs are actually quite good in the off-leash dog park with other dogs.
Oh, good.
It's just when they're on the leash on the street, maybe it doesn't help here in Mexico. A lot of people just get a dog as a guard dog.
Yeah, I
and
understand.
Untrained in the garden, and they just bark like a lot.
I understand.
And one of the things I find maybe a little bit confusing is I walk past certain dogs every day with this dog, and nothing ever happens, but he always reacts that way, and he's never really calm. So he does what I wanted to do next to me. I did that with corrections and then rewarding when he giving treats, rewarding, and so he does it, but he's never really calm. So
not yet, but you might just be in the process of it. This is what I always love to remind people of, is like I told Caesar this. I was like, dude, your dog whisperer show was unbelievable back in the day, but it also did give some people the perception that rehab happens in a 1 hour show.
No, yeah.
It's a process. You know what I'm saying? This takes time, and you could be 7 weeks into the thing and they have a little setback because some dog triggered. So what? That, to me, those reactions are ones that it's another one that we have to overcome. So it's there. We still have to do it, and it's going to take some time. You know what I mean?
So I just have to keep going, doing what I'm doing.
And feel free to send me a video of like what you're doing with her, so I can nitpick it too. In a good way, obviously, like constructive criticism, to say like, hey, in that moment it was a little too soon, or this, I would have turned here or sat her here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe we could do something like that too. I'm thinking like follow up. We could do like bring him on to another one when he has a video, and we could do like a live video review. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. So maybe we'll do something like that. Yeah. All right. So if you have the email and stuff, so you can email Jamie or the team what any videos you have and any stuff, and then we could share it here with everybody so we can see what's going on and they can see the process.
Okay, I will do that.
All right, man.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you very much.
I appreciate you taking the time, and thanks for waiting last time. I told you we held you to it. We got you right back on.
Yes. You're a man of your word. Thank you.
All right, man. Be good. Keep us posted. All right.
Yes. Thank you.
Take care, man. Be good.
Bye.
Bye.
See you.
That was a good one. I like that because this is why I like doing this stuff, because that thing is so, like, that's something so many people deal with, like resource guarding. And it's just like, my goal with this is, instead of like, normally this would be one call. So just for you guys in the audience, I'm talking to my team here, but like the reason that I wanted to do this, I was like doing these calls and I'm giving people stuff that, to me, I'm like, wow, this is so obvious. Like I've said this so many times that I'm realizing, like, fuck, I'm only saying this on a video call to like this one person and no one's hearing it. So then when someone comes on and then they're like, what about like resource guard? I'm like, what? We talked about this. I'm like, oh no, we didn't talk about this, and you guys haven't seen it. So that's the goal. Who's next here? And by the way, give me feedback too. I told you guys, give me feedback if you like it, what you don't like. Am I rambling? Do you want more? Whatever. I'm doing this for you. So tell me what the hell you guys want. What's up, Rudy?
Hi, Steve. Thank you for opportunity.
Happy to have you.
I'm from Cambridge in UK.
You're from where?
And from Cambridge in UK.
In the UK. Awesome. Yeah. So how can I help you?
I will give you a quick background of my dog for you to understand the situation better. My dog's name is B, and she's 3 years old, Belgian Malinois, crossed with Mastiff. We rescued her when she was 8 months old because of her previous owner couldn't handle her. Unfortunately,
well, how old when you rescued her?
8 months
okay.
old. Unfortunately, one, information we received from that owner was not accurate. B wasn't lovely and cuddle dog we led to believe. And however, I didn't give up on her. So after sitting near her kennel every single day, months, and even spending nights with her, we developed a strong bond.
Okay.
So B doesn't have trust in people or other animals.
Mm-hmm.
And she tends to react negatively to them, and constantly I'm working with her, and she knows many commands and tricks. She gets plenty exercises.
Yeah.
Mental training, also rest in her crate, and taking her to walks is a big struggle. I was advised by a trainer to use prong collar on her, which helped to manage. But of course, it hasn't solved the actual problem, which is reactivity. I have watched numerous videos of trainers and yours as well, and I try to follow advice, but it's not easy with her because she's so powerful and strong dog, and I'm a very tiny person, so she can drag me if she wanted to, with that prong collar as well. And I've been trying to work with her on recall and her reactivity towards people and dogs, but she refuses to take treats.
Yeah, she won't. She's going to be too stressed. Yeah.
Yes, and she just concentrates on the actual person or the dog. So that's my question: how to deal and work with her on this.
Who lives in your home?
Sorry?
Who lives in your home?
Oh, mini zoo, actually. We have one dog, but I would explain she's separately because she doesn't let to get to her me and my partner. Actually, partner just recently she allowed to get to her.
I see.
By that time, she didn't trust it.
So let me trust. So in the house, it's you, your partner, and the 2 dogs, or one dog?
One dog, 3 cats, 2 chickens, and my son, and sometimes partner's son comes around.
Okay.
As well. So no one can get to her.
Not any person? 0 people?
0. I take her outside. We sit in a car, in a boot I open, and she sees people, but she is very alerted. And if I try to, when she behaves, for example, ignores or personal dog, give her a treat, no, she will be okay, but she will be constantly looking at that person.
And then what does she do? What if the person starts walking towards, or does she reacts?
Now she straight away reacts and tries to get immediately.
Tries to go bite.
Yes, of course she is with a muzzle.
When did what was she like when you got her at 8 months?
Oh my God! When she arrived, it was because, as I said, we've been led that she's a nice and not reactive dog, but that was completely different. So I couldn't to get her. So she was taken straight away to that kennel.
You,
So
so you,
near
you in
the
the beginning, you couldn't even get near her.
no, no. So that's why I spend nights and days near the kennel.
So let me ask you, how come?
Working.
Why? What? When you found out that she was like that, what made you continue to take her?
I never give up on any animal. I will do it anything to able to, continue and to give a chance to a dog. So it
I'm gonna.
doesn't matter
Can I say something
size.
about that? I want to say something about that, just for everybody
Okay.
on the giving up on the dog thing, right? This is where emotions and logic come in, right? For me, where I have so many people who they'll be talking. I'm not saying this is you, just so you know, but I have people who will call me from all over and they're telling me this certain case, and they brought this dog in, and logically they knew it was above their skill set. It was going to cause like some things, but they emotionally said, I'm not going to give up on the dog. So I can't let this dog, whatever happened to it. And they bring it into the home and they're incapable. So when I say this, it's just a reminder to everybody. I'm not saying this directly to you, but when people say like, let's just say you ended up getting a dog that you cannot handle, period. Right? Because I have people who will tell me this. It's like, no, I'd so much as just keep my dog in the house and keep him in a separate room and and I'll never give up. But I sometimes push back and say, well, isn't that to a degree giving up on the dog? And what it's really giving up on is giving that dog an opportunity to live with a human who is capable of dealing with that kind of stuff. So I'm not saying you're not, right? But this is just one I'm giving a general thing to the public to think about. If you're living in your house with a dog and it's just like, there can be a thing of I'm giving up on this dog by not helping it find the right home, right? Because look, if someone said to me, I always use this example, but if you had like a lady who is like 100 years old, she's in a wheelchair and she got a front of the pack, high drive German Shepherd, and she lived in a studio in New York City. She gave up on that dog. There's nothing that can be done. Like she could hire people and do all that stuff, but my point is that dog's never going to be totally fulfilled. It's impossible. She doesn't have the physical strength, the psychological strength, the knowledge of dog, and all these things come into like, can I rehabilitate this dog? So given what you're saying about this, have you tried any trainers yet? You said you tried the trainer who recommended the prong collar.
Yes, I tried. So only that's what helped, only prong collar. So it wasn't that good.
How did it help? How did it help? In what way? Did it help with the reaction or did it help with the leash pulling?
With a leash pulling, and I can manage her if I can see the cat dog or when we're on a walk, so I can manage to hold her.
Yeah.
Of course, I know that how to work with a prong collar.
Yeah.
But that helped me, and I feel more confident. Before, it was two leads attached to me, one and one in my hand, so it was nightmare.
So, okay. I think that you're going to need the help of a professional for this one because you have a dog who you can't even get anybody, your family can't even get near.
No.
So like me giving you like tips here and stuff, it's very difficult because I would have to really assess and evaluate the relationship with her. Look, I'll give you feedback just from general feedback, but and then I'll suggest somebody who you can go work with. I don't know how close they are to you, but I know some people in the UK who could potentially help you.
Okay.
But the main things we have to focus on is not being so cuddly and affectionate with this dog when it's just you and her. As much as that's going to be hard to do, the problem with that is that she can take it as like you two are like a team and no one's allowed near. So she has to learn how to kind of be on her own in the house and not always being in your space and not getting all these cuddles. You have to be.
No, she's not. She's in her. I'm sorry,
Okay.
I interrupted.
No, good.
In her crate.
Okay.
So she's not. She's not always with me. No, it's not that.
Good. Okay, so she can be crated, and we have to make sure the exercise is high. Like, so these are things that obviously taking her out is a little bit of an issue. So you may want to consider a treadmill, a weighted vest. I always suggest that for dogs who have reactivity, because then you can take care of the exercise portion and the psychological fulfillment of being challenged, and then bring her outside to go deal with that stuff. Because bringing a Malinois who's charged up and has this habit already, good luck. You got to bring her to these scenarios very tired, you know?
And then we work with a ball, so every time I know that it's not the solution, but running, catching, trying to find, I'm doing all those kind of techniques which I learned from your videos and etc. So yes, we're doing that. It's not everything is consistent, and that she's relaxed as well, and yes, we do that.
Okay, that's good. The other thing is, all right, so then eventually, hopefully, whoever the trainer you're going to work with is going to teach you is how to like really get good at playing a game with her. Like if she really likes that ball thing, I would be like really get good at playing that game, making sure everything's good with that game. And then eventually the goal will be to associate someone with that game.
Okay.
So there's actually ways you can do this. This is where you're going to need someone to help you with it just because of how she is. She's like it sounds like she's a little bit red zone girl. So you're going to need some help with that. But the goal would be is eventually you get to the point where she's not having these huge explosions and she's kind of tolerating people. And then when she's finally tolerating people, you take her outside. You can put that person like behind a fence, behind a gate, hidden, so like where she can't get to them kind of thing. You bring the ball out, you throw the ball the first time, she gets it, she brings it back to you, and then you hand it to your guest, and then they start throwing the ball.
I actually tried that with my son.
Okay.
And it's fine, but as soon as he walks by, for example, by that gate and with that ball, then she charges to that gate.
Yeah.
Sees him that he is walking by. So
this is when you're going to need help in person. So I'm going to have, can you email our info at Pack Leader Dogs and just say I was on the call and I need a suggestion for somebody in the UK.
Great.
All right.
Thank you.
I wish I could give you more, obviously, but this is one that you're going to need the professional help just because of how she is. You got to get past that part of at least getting somebody who can help you, who can assist you with her, that she can trust that person. You need somebody like, for me, if you were local, I would say like muzzle her and bring her here. Right? And let me see her. Let me see what she does. Like, let's see what it is. And this way I can advise you way better on her. You need someone who can get their hands on her and see her. I'm not saying hands right away, but can see her. One note I just want to make for the whole audience about the prong collar. I'm not against prong collar. I'll use it for certain people, certain dogs, certain situations. Give you the perfect example for me when I use prong collar. When I had a client who had a 2-year-old St. Bernard, the lady was in her 70s, pulled her down, and one time like injured a knee, other time broke an elbow or something. I don't know what the hell happened. Something happened to that. And it wasn't, she just physically couldn't control the dog, like no matter what tools we use. But then I said, what about a prong? And she used it and she's like, I feel so much, what you said, I feel so much more confident with it. So I'm like, great, let's use that. And she was fine with it. The one thing I would say about dogs who are reactive is the prong for me, this is like, I don't have any science on this aside from my own experience, but for reactive dogs, I'm usually not using a prong collar.
Okay.
Because to me, with reactive dog like that, the prong, while it is a powerful tool, it can be agitating to a dog. And once they learn to deal with that, because my point is if she gets so adrenalized and she starts getting numb to that prong pain, the prong can actually agitate her even more.
Yes, it feels like it because she doesn't feel any pain or something. It just
it's actually sending her high. It can actually send her higher in the reaction. So that's what I was saying. Like for the leash walking itself, no problem. Like I said, you can use it for that stuff. Mm-hmm. But for the reactivity itself, that's where you may want to consider something like a slip lead or something else that you can use instead of the prong. I'm not saying you can't, but that's just my thing. Some other trainers might disagree with me. I understand, but for me, in my experience of rehabilitating dogs like that, I almost always will use a slip lead. But again, that's a tool I've used for like many, many years, and I know how to use that thing really well. The reason for that also is like you can put more consistent pressure at times, because my point is if you're putting consistent pressure with the prong, it can be like a little bit agitating to them, where the consistent pressure of the slip it won't be as agitated. It's more of like, why is there so much pressure on me? Mm-hmm. Kind of thing, you know? So, but yeah, I'm going to send that. I'm going to brief the trainer on what it is, and then you'll let us know what happens. You'll work with him, see how it goes. And then you'll come back and you're going to report to the community here of how it's going.
Okay. Just a quick, another question. Yep. For example, now, of course, she's reactive and we have insurance on hand and we have to take her to that. So it's impossible. Impossible.
Say it again. I didn't understand.
Actually, we
take
took
her
her today. Taking her to that annual check is impossible. I took her today. It just, he got stressed over the top. And that didn't know how to handle it.
Yeah, they don't.
So
that's where you're gonna have to work on calming her down and bringing her there calm. You're gonna have to practice going there at times. Like once you get to a certain point where you go and you don't do anything, you just go to the lobby. You ask them, "Can I come into the room? Can you just walk in and like talk to me for a minute?" And we're gonna leave.
Okay.
The vets should do this. I wish they did. In my opinion, like the best vets would, if they did this or they did like a. They just made like one of the days is like meet and greet day or like a day where you can just come to the place. That would be amazing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because you think about it from the dog's perspective. As the moment they walk in that door, they're smelling the scent of anal glands and stress and all that shit that's there.
Exactly.
So that's already happening the moment they walk in. So it's going to be, and then what happens? Then we bring them into this small room. Then the vet comes in, or the vet assistant comes in, right? Then they're moving way too fast. Hi, doing too much, right? Then the vet comes in, moving way too fast, just grabbing, touching right away, not paying any attention to the dog's feeling. I also understand them too, though, because they have a schedule and they got to get things done. I'm just saying, like, the overall way that's being done is not beneficial. It's not really helping. Like, yeah, they got the medical treatment, but it was a bad psychological experience.
Yes.
So I see I see a few people in the comments saying that some of their vets actually do that stuff, which is amazing. That's great. That's what I would be doing. And even better would be, this is the problem though with the medical field, is like, then even better would be have someone like me who rehabilitates dogs, understands packs and all this kind of thing to be there to help them with that stuff, right? Because the vet behaviorists, they don't really know. They know to be like, oh, the dog seems stressed. Like, give it the fluoxetine. It's like, what? What are we talking about here? Why are we giving pills? Let's help this dog overcome it, you know? Anyway, but
Okay.
yeah,
Thank you very much.
that'll be, just know the vet thing will be like the final deal.
Yes.
That's going to be the most difficult one because it's a stranger. So ideally, if we can make it not a stranger by going there a little bit, and that'll be the final one because that's to a degree a stranger who's coming in an intimate space and touching.
Exactly.
So my thing with that is the goal will be to get her to tolerate that. Like, my dogs don't love good. My dogs hardly ever go to the vet, but they're not like thrilled at the vet. They're like, whatever, we're at the vet. They let the vets do their thing, but they're not like, wow, this is great, this place. They could be, but the vets and the vet techs and all that stuff don't know how to do it. You know what I mean? So like when I'll be in the room, and here comes like the vet tech coming in. I'll be with like my shepherd, super friendly dog. And they just walk in, oh, hi. Like, he's coming up to just smell, who are you? And they're like, oh, hey, dog. And he's like, what's wrong with you, human? You know? And then they'll be like, oh, he's not friendly. I'm like, no, he's definitely friendly. He's just not friendly to the improper approach. And then they look at me like I have 3 heads, and they're like, what is this guy talking about? And, you know, that's how it goes, unfortunately. But that's my goal, is to help the vet world too. But they see things their own way, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm going to send that email over so we have your info, and we'll suggest a trainer, and then I'll brief him on it, and then you're going to come back and report to us.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rudy. All right? Be good. Take care.
Bye.
These are the difficult ones, guys, is when I get dogs like, people will call me with dogs like that. I can give the general advice, but, you know, something that's really interesting that Caesar said this perfectly at the last workshop we did, which is, he goes, I do so much learning before I do anything with dogs. So if you notice when I'm talking to people, I'm writing a lot of this shit down. I'm asking a lot of questions. So this is without even seeing the dog. Then the next big piece of information for me is when I see the dog, I'm learning from, so for instance, when a client comes here and I'm going to work with them in person, I'm learning from, where is that dog sitting in the car when they arrive? Is that sitting on the human's lap, or is the human sitting in the back with the dog? Is this dog like, where is the dog? Then number 2 is like, when they get out, how does the dog get out? Does the dog even does the dog ask the human, can I get out? Or does the dog just come right out? And then once the dog just comes right out, does he look to the human for direction, or does he just go right to the grass and start doing stuff? So then we know that dog already isn't following direction. So I can learn just from me. So this is what I'm saying, is like, there's learning that's involved in the people arriving at my place. Driving down the driveway, I'm learning from that shit. Right? Where most of the trainers and the vets, they're sitting in their, you know, in their little office, and the people are walked in, and now they're on their best behavior. It's like, okay, so this is what I do. So you're not seeing the real thing. That's my advantage of seeing. I probably just let the cat out of the bag if any of you are going to work with me, because now you're going to be like, shit, Steve's watching from the top window with his binoculars or some shit. But it's a lot of information. And then I see, how do they go? How do they come in the house? Does the dog come in first? Does the dog wait? Is the dog nervous? When they come in, are they giving the dog direction right away when they come in my place? Or do they let the dog do whatever they want? Do they let the dog pull them? Is the dog barking? Do they know how to snap it out? All that's happening within the first minutes of them showing up. That's how much learning is happening just from viewing it. And I've been looking at dogs like this for 15 years, every freaking day, all day long. I have the dogs that we work with every single day, the dogs I used to walk back in the day, but now it's been all these videos that I watch, all the public stuff, all the feedback from people from all over the world that have a lot more intel, a lot more knowledge now, wisdom to help. So, do we have anybody else who was from last time? Jordan.
Hi.
What's up, man?
Thanks for taking the call.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
How can I help you?
I've learned since my question. I can make a better question now.
Awesome.
I have a 3-year and 10-month-old Great Pyrenees. Right there.
Yep.
Buddy. A 2-year-old, he's intact. A 2-year-old Central Asian Shepherd, female, spayed. Come on, Olga. And can y'all see her? Okay, there she is.
Yes.
And recently, 3 weeks ago, got this 1.5-year-old male Central Asian Shepherd. And this guy's about 147 pounds, so he's a really big one.
Hold on, really quick,
I've
just so I
had-
have it all. Just so I have it all. You have the 4-year Great Pyrenees unneutered. You have a 2-year female.
Yep.
Central Asian.
Yep. She spayed about a month ago, or 6 weeks ago.
Spayed 6 weeks, and then you have the new one, who's the 1-year, 1.5
1.5.
Central Asian, and he's neutered or not?
Is intact. Okay. So, before I got the new one, I kind of swore like I'll only get puppies so I can raise them up, and I kind of that I did that with the female. But I had met a breeder friend of mine breeds these dogs. This is like these Aboriginal, very land race type dogs. And I was hoping one day, I really liked him, met him, we bonded, I really loved him. But I was hoping one day in a few years to get a puppy from him. But just various circumstances, the breeder actually came back and asked, hey, y'all really like each other, and just the way her breeding program is, she's like, would you want to take this dog? And I was like, oh, I really want to, even though, in my mind, I was like, well, he was with some males. One of them is actually the sire to my female, and he's like, the alpha of the prison yard type dog. His energy is like
which one is? Which one is?
Not any of my dogs. The dog
one,
he was
his sire, the sire. Yeah. The female sire. Yeah, I get it.
But that is the dog my new dog was with, and he was not. There was no conflict, and I observed it too. He would submit and go away. So I'm like, well, I mean, he seems like he just gets along with our males, and I didn't really think it through about my dogs, and I don't think I really understood dogs. So I didn't realize that my Great Pyrenees is actually like the leader, and I didn't realize that because the female would show signs that I thought were dominance, like humping or snarling at him, or even one time I saw my Great Pyrenees kind of submit to her, but I think he just kind of babies her, and she's actually looks to him for like everything. They almost have like a little bit of a codependent relationship. So, in my ignorance, I missed some of that, and that would have helped. So, what's happening is obviously they're not like at each other's throats through this barrier right now. That's not an issue. It's especially in transition areas. If I put them together, like in a gate, a small area, or things sometimes at night get very tense. The Great Pyrenees is like almost like ready to jump his butt, like over anything and everything. Like, so if there's like, we're going through a small space, I'm like reintroducing, the Pyrenees is like ready to get them. If it's at night and I call over the new dog, the Pyrenees might go and like snarl and start something. So I've actually we had some fights that I actually had to break up. I'm coming to learn these fights look way worse than they are. Cause they're not like pit bulls, right? They're a lot of ritualized aggression. So, but they've scratched each other up and stuff like that. But so now I'm taking a step back and very careful about when they're together. The new male, he will not seek conflict, and if he can avoid it, he will. But what I've noticed is when the Pyrenees goes up to him and goes, "Rrr," the new male will stiffen, and if I go to pull him, he's resistant. Whereas this dog is like responds to any leash pressure with no training. Normally, he's like a great dog. Like, he takes my direction. Like I even tried some off leash stuff with him, and he just came right back to me and great dog. So the question is like I've got this male Pyrenees he's like our job is to protect here. I've got all these rules. I'm gonna jump your butt over nothing.
He feels like this new one's not following the rules for whatever reason.
Yeah. And so
did the new one come in? Is he excited guy?
Oh, he's calm. He's just a lot of times he might be just stressed, right? I don't know, but he's usually lays down. He lips his licks. He'll lip his. He'll lay down.
Just so you know, you usually struggle with that. That's like one of my number one things that I struggle in saying is lip licking.
Yeah.
I'm just laughing as you said that. I'm like, thank God there's more people that struggle with that. I'm not like the dumbest person ever. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So I can see signs of behavior that like he does try to appease, but if he gets directly confronted, he tenses up.
What
I
if
mean,
you
so
what if you directly confront him?
if I like the new dog or the original one,
Both.
the Pyrenees would back down.
Okay.
I did obedience work with the first two dogs, so like they're fairly good. I mean, they're also livestock guarding dogs. It's
But
not
remember this. There's obedience and there's leadership. Separate things.
yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of my clients are like have really good obedience with their dogs, but it goes out the window once there's like some other scenario where the dog's like, I don't see you as a leader though.
Yeah, and I'm usually pretty, I'm pretty strict with them. Like, I don't let them get away with, like, the older one doesn't jump on him anymore, but I wouldn't let him do that, and he doesn't. The female will come kind of want to nip me and stuff, so usually I'll either put my hand in her mouth or I'll just ball up until she stops, and then I'll pet her if she stops. But she.
What do you say that when she meaning what? She gets mouthy or she's actually trying to bite you?
No, just playful and mouthy. They have very.
That's something that I would address her for, not like do the ball or ignore.
Okay.
Because even though that can work to stop the mouthing in the moment, it can send the message to her that so you tolerate that, so that's not a leader in my world.
She actually is the one that probably checks in with me the least.
Yeah.
The Pyrenees is pretty checks in with me, but he's happy and he's nice, but he's a pushy dog. He's he'll demand love.
Who do you think is a stronger energy out of the Pyrenees and your new one?
It's hard to say because it's like, the new one is so he tries to back away and tries to stop and he's not confrontational, but I think he has some pretty strong energy if he's confronted. And also, he's a big, powerful dog. So like if the Pyrenees attacks him and they're just by themselves and the other wasn't involved, like he can like throw the Pyrenees on the ground and pin him like right away. Now
that's physical strength. And I'm saying like when they're with you, like who is the more confident one, would you say?
The Pyrenees is more confident.
Okay. So, and then when they're around each other, like, do you have them interacting with each other? Like, or are they always separate?
They were in the pasture for like 24/7 when I got them, which I think was a mistake. And then now it's more supervised and like in the morning, it's not an issue. So I'll let them out. But, I've taken them on pack walks. When I'm off the property, I can leash them all up and walk them together and there's no conflict. Mm-hmm. It changes the property.
Yeah. So what can be happening there, especially like what you're telling me, the way the female will like get mouthy with you and stuff, and she was according to you, was like the weaker one out of the two, right, with the Pyrenees?
Yeah.
So that tells me the Pyrenees might have seen himself as in charge of your place. Even though he was obedient with a bunch of things, he might see it as like, like we're all in agreement, we're in harmony here, that, I listen to obedience and do stuff, but there's not really anyone challenging me and nothing going on, so everything's fine. But now this new guy came in and said, hey, what's up? I'm unneutered. I got all my hormones and stuff, and I don't see you as that thing.
Yeah.
And that's where you can get the conflict. So that's one where we have to make sure that you're working individually with all these guys and making sure you're not tolerating any of that mouthing stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And making sure you see, like, if it's the Pyrenees who's starting to be, you have to assess and evaluate the situation. My point is if like you were just sitting there, right, and like the new guy is just laying on the ground there, and the Pyrenees walks up and starts to confront him. Yeah. Absolutely, you should tell the Pyrenees to knock it off, stop right there, and send him away.
Yeah,
like immediately. The thing you have to be careful of when you're doing that doesn't trigger the Pyrenees or the Central Asian to get into it with each other.
Yeah, I have to be careful. If I were to go grab the Pyrenees, it can trigger a fight.
By who? Who gets triggered?
If the Pyrenees is growling at the new dog, and I say to grab him and say, come, like that raises his energy, and he's like, we'll attack.
Mm-hmm.
Not me. He'll attack.
Yeah, I would just you can have leash there, and it's not so much of like bringing him to you; it's more of like moving into him.
Yeah,
and sending him back. Not so much come over here because you're doing that. It's like getting in and moving into him and sending him back with your space.
Yeah,
kind of vibe. But yeah, you have to like look. It's building relationship individually with all these dogs one by one, and it's those moments, and then you pick like who are my two best together. It seems like the Pyrenees and the female are the best, right? How does the female do with the younger one?
If there hasn't been a fight recently, she'll initiate play. If there's been a fight, she's butthurt and doesn't want to play, and
but she doesn't initiate a fight.
She has once, and she'll join in if the Pyrenees. And so, like, that's happened one or two times, and I've basically pulled her off, put her behind a gate, and then I even gotten so far as, like, grab them both by their collars and threw one outside another gate.
Yeah. This is the thing, is like, I'll tell you, just not to scare you, but the inter-home fighting thing or like having conflict is definitely challenging.
And here's the thing I'm thinking about. Look, so I also have livestock. Like, they're not with them right now while I'm integrating them. But if I keep trying things and working individually with them, and like for whatever reason it's just not working out, the new dog can be a guardian in a different pasture.
Okay.
But I do like, the dogs are all also family dogs, and we're close with all of them. So it's
Is the new one pushy at all?
very slight, a little bit. I've been doing some training with him. It's say like the female will go like sit away. She's just like almost skittish when like for hands and things like. But this one to me, and if he gets excited, he's a little pushy, but he's also got a very calm like demeanor. He doesn't get super excited or jumpy or anything like that. He will come in my space a little bit.
That's what you have to focus on for sure, with each one individually.
Yeah.
And something you have to think about too is you had a female who was only spayed 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So those hormones are still there. It takes a while for those to get out. And then you have 2 unneutered males.
Yeah, that could be adding to the problem.
Without a doubt.
Okay.
So that's the genetic side of it, the instinctual side of it. That could be where it's like, why are they doing this? It's like, it's not about the training. It can be that the scent is here. And then your other guy can be like, yeah, the scent's there, whatever. But then now the new guy's here with his parts still, let's just say, and his hormones. It's like, what's this guy? I got to make sure this guy knows the deal.
Yeah, could trigger him.
He could just be being dominant with him, and it's a bad thing. He's just saying like, hey, you're coming in here. I'm the male here. I'm the older one. I've been here. This is our pack. You need to come in ultra respectful. But ideally, my point is with that is that should be you telling the new dog, not the Pyrenees.
Yeah.
You see it? So that's where you have to remind, when you're with the Pyrenees, like by yourself, is making sure you're able to put some pressure on him and get him to surrender and go into like calm surrender when you tell him to, or stop things and do things, because you're going to need that when the other dog's around. Where do you live, by the way? Where do you live?
Right now, I'm from Louisiana, and we're moving up here full time. It's Southern Appalachia. It's like on the border with North Carolina and Georgia.
Okay.
I'm surrounded by we got national forest land, and like it's very rural out here.
Okay. Yeah, it's an interesting one because you have moving parts there, a bunch of moving parts. But that's why like it can get complicated. It's like, what about this and these 2 and then these 3 and then 2 at this time? It's like, as best as you can, you just focus on individually with each dog, and you keep the ones who get along together at times, and you work with them together, right? And then the biggest issue sounds like you have is the 2 males.
Yeah.
So that's where you're going to have like, look, my point is I can't bring 2 unneutered males together if they don't see me as a leader.
Yeah.
They're going to take over. You know what I mean? So I got to make sure that dog knows that I'm in charge, and then this dog knows that I'm in charge. Not because it's like I want to be in charge and be the man. It's not has to do with that. It's just has to do with someone's got to take that position. So the dogs have to yield to me and not decide through each other who's going to be in the front.
Yeah, and it's almost like, so I watch them on my cameras and stuff if I'm not there, and like, I mean, the Pyrenees is not nice, but they don't fight, and it's like I bring them. I kind of put them in the conflict probably between. There's a transition, but also like now I'm in front of the Pyrenees, and the Pyrenees is like, okay, well I gotta run the show.
Right. That's right. So that's why we got to make sure that the Pyrenees doesn't think he's the one. That's the relationship that, in my opinion, that might have got a little exposed, where you might have thought like, this guy, everything's going great, he listens and all that stuff, but then you might not have had the full leadership with him, and then this new dog coming in has potentially exposed a little bit of that.
Yeah, because it's honestly before, like I didn't even think he was a dominant dog.
Right. Yeah, you might not see it because when there's nothing to really do it for, that can happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, but then all of a sudden you just brought in an unneutered male when his sister just had her stuff removed and the hormones and the scent is all there and stuff.
Yeah.
That can definitely be like, can bring, like, that's a nice little like cocktail to bring some conflict is what I would say.
Yeah.
So that's where I would just be thinking that stuff and be like, all right, so I really got to focus on the Pyrenees. Keep working with the new one too separately and making sure he's following all the rules, boundaries, limitations. And you got to really focus on not so much being friends with these dogs right now, of just like you're in a like let's figure out what the order of this company going to be. Right?
Yeah.
Before we all get along. It's like, let's decide where we all go. It's like, so we want you CEO, and these dogs can be in all the positions after, and they'll sort themselves out. Like my dogs sort themselves out to a degree, but I don't let them like do dominance and things. But there's certain things like my American Bulldog will push the other dogs out of the way. Like he doesn't care. But he's also not confrontational about it. That's just him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's what we just want to make sure we're the ones who are doing it, because they're going to say, but I have my things, and you can say, well, yeah, but so do I, and I'm the one who's in charge here.
Yeah.
This is the deal here. Just so I know you guys feel like you want to control, then you want to control, and then this, and the female wants to mouth. And we're going to change everything, and starting today, we're going to work with each one of you individually to make sure you guys know that I'm leader. Then I'm going to put the best ones together to make sure they got it. And then the final one will be putting then you'll do the 2 males, and then you do the 2 males by bringing the female in, seeing how it goes. And you'll learn. You're going to learn like what is the triggering thing here.
Yeah, it's been a very steep learning curve, because before when I introduced the female to that male, the female was a puppy, and they were like the instant like best friends, soulmates, like, and they just loved each other. And so I'm like, well,
this is what I would have told you if you called me, if this was the call, and you were like, hey, so I have a 4-year-old Great Pyrenees who's unneutered, and I have a 2-year-old Central Asian Shepherd who's just got spayed 6 weeks ago, and I'm thinking of bringing another 1.5-year Central Asian who's unneutered, I'd be like, let's be very careful about it.
Yeah, and so in this like livestock guarding world, most people are like, oh, you can never put 2 males together, you can never do this. But like, if you look in Central, they have 5 males together. However, they're probably all related.
That can be.
And the shepherd there is probably like no freaking nonsense.
They're working. They're not like, they don't bring those guys in to like come like watch the game, you know?
They may have like a familial relationship, but it's not like we're not lounging around and giving.
You know what it is? It's very similar to, some people will say like, I'm trying to give you like a good example of this. I'm not even gonna confuse you if I give that one. But yes, it is. I understand totally what you're saying there. But that's what I would focus on, is focus on them individually, and then start bringing them together, and then keep me posted. And then if you need somebody help in your area, I can see if there's someone around you who could help and just give you another eye. But another option, we could do like a longer call too, and like kind of break it down. You could send me videos and stuff. Like no pressure on that, but it's available if you want it.
Yeah, and I've got some ideas of what to do to work with them individually, and like we can, if I maybe in a few weeks or so, if I'm not making progress.
You let me know. And then, like, as much as you could do, like tire them before you get them together, right? Like work them. If you can walk them together, that's the greatest way to do it, because you can trigger the pack drive, and then when you're doing that walk, that's a walk for you not to just be like, oh, like leisurely walk. It's like, let me remind these dogs that I'm the calm, confident leader in this place, and this is about a structured walk, not a friendly, like we're gonna be friends kind of walk.
Yeah, and so luckily, I'm trying to give them exercise, walking and stuff. Especially right now, they don't have the animals in here, so they don't have as much to do.
Yeah.
Do that. I even know stuff on the walks too. Like if you start trying to like look down at the dogs, like they start misbehaving, but you got to like stand up and look straight, and then they kind of get in line.
That's it. They're going to see this is the biggest thing people miss too. I shouldn't say the biggest, but the big thing people miss is giving direction and not following through.
Yeah.
But it's very subtle sometimes. Sometimes the dog's like smelling something over there, getting into something you don't want to. Hey, get out of there. And then you got distracted, and he doesn't stop.
Yeah.
That no matter, like, I understand that humans get distracted. We're busy. We have shit going on. But he's going to be saying, like, he told me to stop, and he didn't follow through. That's not a leader.
Yeah.
They're just extremely cutthroat when it comes to this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, us humans, we're like, oh, you made money, so we have respect for you. It's like dogs are like looking at us like, why do you have respect for that guy? That guy is unstable. And we're like, well, he has money. And they'd be like, what is money? What are you talking about?
Yeah. And then especially these type dogs, which are like halfway between a wolf. So.
Yeah. These are primal guys. Yeah, exactly. They're going to take things more seriously.
I need to be very on the walks. They test me all the time. You know? They want to be, I can pull my hay and knock it off.
Yeah, that's where you got to work. That's the work. That's really the work that you got to do with them, is take them on the walks. And you might have to start taking them a little individual to work with them individual. Whoever's like not the best, you go work with them individual.
Go break it back down, do the fundamentals again.
Yes. Because it can be like I have this dog and they compete and this thing happens. It's like, what? It can feel like overwhelming. Like, where do I even start with all this shit? It's like, you know what? Let me like just break this down. Let me start with the relationship individually with each one of these dogs first, and make sure I have individual leadership with each one of them. Then it's going to be a little bit more challenge when I bring some of them together, because that's a new dynamic. But I'm going to still practice that part. And the final goal is bringing them all together and just say, hey, I worked with you individually, you, and you. We did you two, and now you're all together. Everything's the same.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, good.
All right, man.
I appreciate it.
Great talking with you. Keep up the good work. You're doing good. Keep me posted, all right?
Yeah, I really jumped in the deep end, and I overestimated my knowledge.
It happens, but this is what it is. You know what it is? Sometimes these situations are good learning experiences.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
my point is, this is why I said I do these calls now, because I'm doing these calls with people all over the world daily, and they're telling me the same shit. It's just that the public's not really seeing it. So I'm like, you know what? We got to do these live so people can see what everyone's dealing with. So don't feel so alone, like you're the only one who's dealing with like that. There's a lot of people, you know? And all it is just a lack of knowledge. So I didn't know this shit. So I was like, before learning this stuff, I would have been like, I don't know what to do. I was born in America. We just put the dog in the backyard and pet it and feed it. Like, it's all we do, you know?
Yeah, we don't have a culture like they do, like, say, where these dogs came from. Where,
That's
like,
right.
you're just, you interact. The dogs probably read the humans better because of the way, like, you're just always around animals.
That's right. Yeah, look, like most of these people are using dogs for work.
Yeah.
They need the dog to like guard the territory for real. It's like an actual job. But we have kind of like rich people problems in America where we just get dogs to like enjoy them. We don't even need to work.
And even with my animals, right, I'm just kind of like playing at this. Like, I'm not making money. It's just a hobby.
Yeah,
So it's not.
right. I get it. I know. So,
Yeah.
but you can create the job for them, which job number one should be follow leader.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then second job is to guard the territory. Job number 3, get along. No fighting between, you know what I mean? You create the jobs for them.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, man. Well, keep us posted.
I appreciate it.
Great talking with you. Be good. That was a good one. All right. Hopefully you guys are enjoying all this. Oh, I saw one comment earlier. I don't know where it is, but it said, "What's with the shush noise or whatever?" So I'll tell you where that came from with Caesar. I don't know how many people know that. So the shit thing is like got popular when Caesar Milan did the Dog Whisperer show back in the day. So people didn't understand like why is he doing that shush noise. So the actual real story behind the shush noise is Caesar just came up with that noise because that's the noise that his mother used to do with him and his brother and in their house when they would be misbehaving. So if Caesar was getting into something or doing something that his mom didn't want, she'd go shh, shh, and he would. Wow. So he just kept that noise and just attached it to dogs and just attached to create the association that when I make this shh noise, that means stop what you're doing and relax. That's all it is. So it doesn't mean like the shush itself is powerful. It's just what that sound is attached to. He likes it because it's like a quick, sharp thing that you can just do really fast. Like, so I just do it. It's not because I think that noise is great. I learned a lot from him, and it was early in my career. I was around him a lot, so it was one that I used. But you could use anything. You could say you could phone, and that could be mean to have the dog stop and calm down. It doesn't really matter. But that's where Caesar got it from. Was his mom used to use that on him, which is hilarious. God, is there anyone else from last week?
Carrie's next.
Who? Carrie. There you go. I see you. Yeah, how are
Hello.
you? Nice to meet you.
I'm great. Nice to meet you.
Right. How can I help you?
I have 2 cattle dogs.
Okay.
Quick background: we had a black lab and my now 7-year-old cattle dog, and the black lab's my husband's dog. The cattle dog is my dog. And he had a heart attack in January, and so
You hold on
we were
really quick.
like,
You said the black lab was your husband's or yours?
husbands.
Okay. Go ahead.
And so the black lab had a heart attack and died in January, and we were like, let's get another dog, keep Riley, the other healer, busy. And I said, let's get her as a puppy because Riley is a dominant dog and she's controlling. She's a healer. When she goes and plays with other dogs, she hurts them, and she'll back a dog into a corner just because she knows she can. Like if they're a weaker dog. And so, we've always just known that and have to tell her like, Riley, stop.
Yeah.
She knows exactly what she's doing. So we get a puppy, and I said, let's get another healer, 2 dogs, similar mindsets.
Yep.
In hopes this healer, her name is Remy, would be my husband's dog. Well, the puppy has now bonded to me as well, so they're both, I'll say, my dogs,
Okay.
which is not the ideal situation. And so we do have a power struggle, and I'm home pretty much all day, every day with them, where everyone else in the house is kind of coming and going. So Riley, the 7-year-old, has gone after Remy multiple times.
Okay.
She's also, I call her the no fun police, right? Like
Yeah.
she wants Remy to be on point. If I tell her no and I have to tell her a second time, if I'm not there, Riley thinks it's her job to tell her.
Were
stop.
you listening on the last call?
Yes.
Good call
And
for you
I
to
was
listen
like,
to.
that's so great.
Yeah.
So a lot of that was super, super great. But what I am thinking, I started getting some videos, and I'm going to send them to you. This is twofold. I actually have shoulder surgery on Monday, so I'm kind of nervous of the dynamic in our house of when Riley sees that I'm uncomfortable, what is the dynamic going to be this first week after surgery with having a now 10-month-old puppy in the house. So we do have some things in place of like getting the puppy. I got her in daycare for part of the day, or my parents are going to be taking her and working her, or taking Riley and working her, because I know I'm going to be down for a solid 2 weeks. And then since last week, I got Riley on, we got a treadmill, and she is within a week walking on it, because I can do that out in the cold weather. The puppy I've not started her on. So all this said, we've got some strange dynamics of like, sometimes they're best friends. Other times Riley doesn't want her to look at her. And she does a lot of whale eyes at her.
Riley?
So, I mean, I could see it. Yeah. I could see it coming.
What is Remy doing that triggers that?
Having fun, playing by herself, getting too close to her. And she's not in the mood for her BS.
Yeah.
It's a lot of that.
Like? What was she like with the black lab?
Our black lab was super submissive. He could care less about anything that's going on. And so I always thought Riley was a leader. And I realized actually Ruger, we're all on our names,
I get it,
was the leader. And I feel like Riley is actually a back of the pack, nervous dog.
Yeah.
Now Remy, middle of the pack, easygoing, nothing. She loves
but
life.
Riley likely knows that her energy is stronger than hers.
I think so.
Yeah. So this is what happens. This is like, just to give everybody else a little background on this, is like when you're bringing the new dog into the home, we number one have to make sure we have leadership of current dog, right? Like that we know this dog follows a direction, and then how we do the intro is very important. Like how that dog comes in, the puppy comes in. It's super important, and we have to just make sure that we don't let the puppy come in, because sometimes people do it. I'm not saying you did. I don't know what you did, but I'll find out. But a lot of times people are like, meet your new brother, like kind of thing, and it's like the new one. Like we're thinking of all this emotion. We brought your new brother home, and look at how great it's going to be. Meanwhile, Riley is like, who is this like dog that you're bringing into the house who doesn't know the rules here? And why is the dog coming in so like playful and excited? That makes me feel uncertain. And because I don't feel like my humans have taken the lead just yet, that I'm going to be the one to tell this new one what to do.
Yeah.
The other thing I noticed really quick about what you were saying too, about how you had like the separate dogs and like it was my dog and her dog and it just doesn't work that way. Like I understand why people like, especially they get together, they had a dog and all that kind of thing. But at the end of the day, those are all your dogs. You guys together, it's the humans and the dogs.
Yeah. So I say it that way because, and I mean, we have 2 teenage boys and, but like, Ruger naturally goes to Kevin as his person, and Riley naturally goes to me as her person. Now, we are still both the alphas in our house.
Okay.
And if we're in the room, I mean, I could see the body language, and I'll just be like, Riley, knock it off. Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, sorry, Mom. Okay. So she listens to us, but if we're not around, she thinks she's the boss. So, sorry, let me go back to my husband and I. So it's just, that dog always gravitated to my husband more than me. And I know a big thing is we train our dogs differently.
That's part of the problem.
You know, it is.
Because they're like, Mom says this, Dad says this. And that's like, picture if you did that with your teenage boys.
Yeah, well, we definitely do. I should say I'm more of an emotional, like I'll see the emotion part, and he is like harsh.
I see.
I said nothing.
So we need a mix. We need a mix of that.
Yeah. So
we need a mix of like, we're like your side of like, yeah, but she's feeling this way and this is why it's happening. But also like, we understand you, but you're not allowed to go after your sister.
Yes. So now all that being said, I feel like, we do allow our dogs on our bed when we call them up and on our couch when we call them up. They also know you stay on the floor right now.
Yeah.
But if I have, like, if Riley is sitting next to one of us and Remy comes by, she will whale eye.
Yeah.
No, she
She
won't
just
growl.
goes.
Yeah, she'll whale eye and then go
Yeah,
and
she's
lay
claiming
down.
you guys. She's claiming you in the couch.
Yeah. And
So
so
that's why you
if
have to
we
remove her.
hear
You have to remove her
it,
from that stuff for now.
and that's what we were doing. And now I feel like we've yelled at her so much, which sounds sad. She's a manipulative dog. Like, it's a manipulative dog breed.
Dogs are
So
yeah, they all are though.
yeah.
They
I'm trying to
all.
navigate-
Humans take it as manipulative, but they're just very creative, and they know how to. They're a dog who knows. I mean, sorry, a dog. It's a species that knows. Like, look, that's the only species that really got into our homes, so they know how to adapt and figure things out. You know what I'm saying? And then you add in a working dog on there, they know. Yeah, mom does this, and think about what for we have things going on. We have life, friends, family, all this shit going on. They have one thing to study you guys.
Right.
You know.
Putting her away so off, not putting her away, but telling her go on her place. Like, we're not having that behavior, go on your place. Which is either like the bed in the room, her kennel in the room, not closed, but like, go take a minute. Now she's reverting to going on that place all the time and kind of like sulking, like, I'm just not going to come out here because I'm going to get yelled at for having dominant behavior.
But can you keep her in the room on the dog bed?
We'll tell her like, okay, Riley, come off, and she'll come off because I told her to come off and go right back down and like sit and.
Oh no! That's what. But I'm saying, like, when you're in the room, if you told her and Remy, both of them, go on your beds and stay there, what would happen?
Mm-hmm. They'll stay there.
That's what you need to do more of. You do need way more of that. Because the problem is, it's like you're getting the first part, but then you're like, okay, Riley, you're allowed off, and she's like, great, back to my spot. So we have to not let her practice that crap anymore.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Like, do I let her still take her moment, or do I say, no, you're done with that? We're all
and when
done.
you say
We're
the
moving
sulking moment, where does that happen?
after she gets yelled at, and I tell her she can be done, but like she wants to be in control of when she's done.
And when you say done with what?
Being still aggravated at Remy.
And what's but if you sent them both to their beds and they would stay there, right? So when does the aggravation part for her come up?
I mean, sometimes it's short-lived, and other times like.
But is it? What I'm asking is do you invite her off and then she gets like agitated? Like when does the agitation happen? From what? What triggers it?
I could just tell in her behavior, like when she gets off, like she'll side eye Remy, like you just got me in trouble, and then she'll continue side eyeing her for a little while.
But this is when you told her she can come off the bed.
I told her off, like you're fine, and then usually if I see her, I was like, knock it off, get back on your bed.
Okay. So the two things just to make sure that just to make sure there's no yelling, because yelling is just excitement to them.
Yeah.
And the leaders in their world don't yell. They just make sure it happens.
I rarely yell. I use my words a lot now.
Okay.
I'm not like picking on my husband. He will yell. He'll be like, wow.
Just make sure you guys both are in agreement of like, all right, so we agree that we have to be assertive with the dogs at times. We have to be confident, but we can't be yelling and screaming and moving fast.
Yeah. He knows like I shut down with yelling, and I'm like,
yeah,
remember, I don't do well with that.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I don't understand her problem. I was like, just.
Well, hopefully this will help him understand of what the problem is, that she believes that she's stronger than you guys right now.
Okay.
And she believes that just because of certain just because of certain things that you've been tolerating in like the dog training way, but the psychology way is keeping her trapped and thinking that like, all right, so the only time I go to my bed is when I'm in trouble, which we don't want. We want it to be like, this is a place you go rest, right? Go rest there. And then if she got, then at the time when she gets to come off, you invite her, all right, off, and she starts getting that side eye thing, I would calmly go right up to her, hey, and settle her right there. Not send her anywhere or go anywhere else. Right there, stop her. Hey. And she's like, what? So then she's saying, I'm going to start being tense and start putting pressure on my sister. And you and your husband, or both of you say, so that's not allowed in our house. So if you do that to your sister, then we put pressure on you.
Okay.
And we will stay there. Yeah, we're going to stay there until you calm all the way down. And once you've calmed all the way down, we're going to remind you to go back to your bed.
Okay.
And then on the front end of this, make sure you have 2 cattle dogs, so they have to be fulfilled. Like they need to like do a lot of extra. These guys got to do a lot of exercise. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, since really since my last cortisone shot wore off on my shoulder, their exercise has been lowered.
Yeah, I get it.
I'd love to say,
Where do you live, by the way, real quick?
northwest suburbs of Chicago, so in Illinois.
Okay. I have someone over there who could help you if you need it in person.
I would love that. I would take them to dog trainings. We would go on Mondays, and I try to work them together. I work them individually in the class, which is nice. Like I put one in a kennel and go back and forth. But the last 4 weeks I haven't with my shoulder. I can't, like, they're 25 pounds and 2 pounds.
Yeah, I get it. But what's the plan while you're injured? While you're recovering, I mean, like, what are you going to do? Is your husband going to do it?
He can't take him to the Monday classes. They are walking him, and I could walk her, I'm hoping, on my right side.
Okay.
I'm very nervous on Monday for my dogs, right? Like, I'm more than even the surgery.
What do you think is going to happen? What about just like keeping them somewhat separated for now?
I do keep them separated a lot of the times. I just want to make sure that they're still getting worked.
Yeah, in reality, you have a physical thing that you're not going to be able to do it. So your husband's someone's gonna have to step up. If it's not your husband, then you got to hire help. Because my point is, those dogs are not going to be like, oh, we understand. Carrie had so.
No, they're not.
They're sitting there like, so we're not getting exercise. So maybe we'll compete. Maybe we'll get into shit. Like, what are we going to do?
Okay. And then something else I wanted to throw out there too. So they are both spayed. But Remy was just spayed in August. And whenever we do have conflict before physical conflict, right? Like you see the behavior, you see it's about to start. Remy is super submissive, and they will both emit their anal glands out of nervousness, it's so fun.
Yeah, it sounds great. It probably smells great too. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, the problem is Remy. The Remy is just like, she sounds like she's the middle of the pack who's just getting bullied by her sister. So she's just like, fuck, I just got to deal with this. I'm getting bullied. So really what has to be is someone has to step up and tell Riley, you're not in charge here, period.
Okay.
And
Riley will emit her anal glands. Like when I get on her and I'm like, and I'll just.
Yeah, she's wound up. Like, she's a wound tight girl for sure.
Like,
yeah.
Mom is now mad at me. And then she'll admit them.
But that's
well.
the thing. That's what you don't want. You don't want her to feel that you're ever mad.
Okay.
Or angry or pissed or like any of that stuff. It has to be like, I see what you did. I completely disagree with it, and there's a consequence for it, but I'm not mad about it. I'm not pissed about it. I'm not upset. I'm not angry. I'm not mad. Nothing. I'm just, you did that, so this is what comes.
Okay. I will have to work on that because my
of course. You see what I'm saying? This is the whole thing. This is the whole, yes, of course. Our normal shit comes out. This is what I had to, this is the big part of me in getting good at this stuff was dealing with myself.
Yeah.
Because the knowledge is there. Like once you understand, like I give away a lot of stuff, then you obviously have a bunch of knowledge about this stuff too. But we have to understand what about us through our self-awareness? What about our emotions, the way we see things, the way we move, our speed, our anger, frustration, wherever it is, the dog is going to expose that shit. So that might be something that you along your life learned when there's something happening it could be from parents, other people, teacher, wherever, growing up, was we yell. And we control situations through, I grew up in a bunch of that shit, So that's how I used to handle things, was get pissed off and knock it off, like that thing. But then that's not effective. With that. Dogs held me accountable because I would do that. Nervous dogs would be like, fuck you, I'm not going near you. Front of the pack dogs were like, oh, really? You have that tension? What's up? Let's go. And I'd get bit. So I had problems. Middle of the pack, so you get more excited and get more tense. So I had to work on myself of staying calm. And that's a skill that humans need to learn. Look, there's $1 billion industry of like yoga and meditation and cold plunges and this, all to try to calm people down.
Okay. So don't express disappointment with them. Just nip it. We're done.
No, because, correct. Because a real leader dog won't be like disappointed that dog's doing it. He's just going to get control of the situation.
All right. I feel like, that's going to be tricky to work on. But,
yeah. But that's the big one to work on. So you'll always remember these dogs because like these dogs were the ones that like made you like, wow, I do react. Because it's look, the most challenging thing for people to do is look at themselves. That was for me.
I learned I had anxiety from my dog.
Yeah.
Because I realized I was feeding it right down to her.
Yeah.
And then when I figured out my anxiety, everyone's like, she was always so nervous. I was like, no, it was me.
Yes.
I figured out how to control
because
my
what you also have
anxiety.
to because you also have to realize, like you said a good point there. You were like that Riley can feel like she's in trouble because of Remy kind of thing. And that can be, because it could be one where Riley starts associating that when Riley's in the room, when Remy's in the room, like mom starts yelling at me. So I want her out.
Yeah.
Or dad yells at me or whatever. So I'll like get her out of here because I keep getting in trouble, and they keep getting them to become emotionally unstable the way they see it, which is like they're mad and angry and then she's like, I'll just get rid of her. And Riley and the other one, Remy's just like, God, what am I doing here? Like, you see it?
Yeah, I do.
So that's what we're going to have to work on, and just really focus on the structure, really focus on the exercise in the front end. Make sure we're only giving them affection when the dogs are calm and being respectful. Remove the couches and the beds for now. Not saying you can't go back that long in the future when everything's sorted out. But for now, we want to remove anything, including yourselves or the couch or the bed or anything that they can start claiming from each other.
Okay.
Or competing
That'll be
over.
easier with surgery on Monday because they're not going to be able to sit by me for a little while. So that's a good time to work on
That's it. And and even you have time before the surgery to start practicing it now too.
Yeah, I can do that.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Happy to help.
It's
my pleasure. Keep me posted, all right?
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Gary. Be good. Okay. I have a few more. I'm going to get to the people. All right, so I see here, Brian.
Hi, Steve.
What's up, Brian? How are you? Nice to meet you.
I'm good. How are you today?
Great. How you doing?
Awesome.
Good?
I'm good, yeah.
Great.
I got a 4-year-old German-Dutch mix is what we were told. We rescued him. He was, the family found a stray, and the stray and him didn't get along, so they got rid of him.
Okay. How old was he when you got him?
He's 4.
Okay.
He's 4.5-ish, so we've had him about 4 months.
Okay.
He's settling in well. He is reactive. He's people suspicious, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Not, especially men.
Yeah.
My wife was kind of excited about that. He bonded with me pretty quick on, actually. So there's light. I see that as light, as possible light to socialize him better. But the reactivity, she gets anxiety just walking him because he just pulls and pulls. Sees another dog he wants to pull. And I've been working with him on it. I saw one of your earlier videos where you were talking about don't just heal and let that stay. So we tried to redirect and go a different way. Mm-hmm. And I think he was very negatively trained with an e-collar.
Okay.
I have a halo collar that I put up a GPS fence in the yard. I don't even use the vibrate or the static function.
Just the sound. The sound does it.
The beeps alone, just that beep, beep, beep. He just tail tuck, ears down. I want to retreat.
So very sensitive guy. Very sensitive guy.
Tea kettle beeps. Oh, what's that? So he's very So I think it's a lot of fear, which was probably instilled with an e-collar of some sort in a negative way. I'm trying to change that with play, using the e-collar as the whistle, maybe more, or the because it's got the on it. As more of a come, everything's okay. But as soon as the beeps, he wants to shut down. I'm trying to, he's ball focused.
Okay.
Like once he gets focused, it's laser focused and commands go out the window. Nothing works. So I have a place I can take him out and throw the ball and wear him down and work with him. Then I try to do a little training. But if he sees another dog, it's just, I gotta go. And
what does he do? He has a big, he lunges or bar? What does he do?
He's very pouncy with his paws. So he'll kind of go up and do the front paw pounce. We have had interactions with other dogs that were calm. The dog was calm, so he was kind of calm, and I was calm. But with my wife, I think it's more of, I got to protect this. He seems very much like
what's your wife's relationship with her? With him, I should say. Is she likes? I know you said that she liked the protection thing.
She does the feedings, and he's not at all resource guarding in that. He's more resource guarding when it comes to me. If we hug, he's got to be in the middle of the hug, kind of thing. So I try to keep him away and say, no, go away. This is my hug kind of thing.
Yeah.
But when it comes to food, no, we can reach right in his bowl.
Okay.
Like they said resource guarding, but I don't see that at all.
What the one thing I was asking, the thing was that I know you said that she said she liked the protective side, right?
I like the protective side for her. So I like that he is kind of on high alert, if you will, but he gets too excited in the moment when he sees another dog. So, and that makes her.
Yeah, I get you. The issue with this, I had a client like this who had a Dogo Argentino back in the day when I was in Hoboken, and she said she loved how protective the dog was, and I told her just please be careful with that.
Right.
Because there's a difference between a possessive dog and a protective dog.
Exactly.
So like my dogs will be protective, I assure you. If like if I was walking down the street and you like came at me, like you'd be like, what the fuck is with those dogs?
Sure.
But like if I was like, if I knew you was like, hey Brian, what's up, bro? And you came over, they would smell you and be fine.
Yeah.
So I want
and that's where I don't feel comfortable taking him into the situations with other people yet.
Yes.
Because I'm still getting to learn him.
Yes.
So I want to make sure that I can say no. And he'll just stop or whatever.
The biggest thing
seems to be a good one for him.
And have you had anybody come over?
No, my brother actually is like, dude, I'll come over anytime. So that's going to be my first socialization. I mean, he's went to the vet. He had to have teeth pulled because he was rescued once by somebody and then returned. So they crated him when they went to work. He chewed the crate, broke one of his canines, so I had to have that one pulled. I had to have another molar pulled that he cracked, and pulp was exposed. So we've had to have teeth pulled, which I didn't realize they were broken when we got him. But that doesn't matter to me. But so we did try crating him the first 2 nights. The second night, he whined. And I said, okay, well, let's just leave him out and leave him in the bedroom, see what he does. He lay down on the floor, went to sleep. Slept fine. So we got rid of the crate. The crate doesn't seem to. It just makes him more stressed.
Yeah, he has a bad association with it. They did it a shitty way.
Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah, and so that I'm just trying to alter the negative training that he's had that is super obvious because he was like even the chuck it stick. When I get that out and throw the ball and then it'd hang, he'd be like,
Yeah. You need to do it. So it's a bunch of trust building with this dog. Yeah, you're doing. It sounds like you're doing it, and you've already accomplished something that he wasn't able to do, which is like link up or have a relationship with a male. So you've already done a great job of that. So. Especially if, like I always tell people, if you have a dog, this is good for the public, for you guys all here. If you have a dog who has issues with men, that dog needs to go to a male trainer. When
we took him to the vet, the females there were good. They came in, they moved slow. They didn't, get all up in his face or anything. But when we went the second time for the tooth pulling, a young man came in and
hey, buddy, what's up?
Him.
Yeah, like all this thing.
And he didn't even, he just stood there and was writing stuff down that I was telling him. And maybe he took a slight step towards us, and then it was Bark City. And he's actually not very audible. He's pretty quiet most of the time, which is really weird when he sees other dogs, because other dogs are going crazy, and he's just like,
oh, that's good.
Nothing. So that I'm kind of thankful for that, but I still want to figure out how to get him to not want to approach and charge. That's the one thing that I really want to get, because he will pull.
Towards dogs.
Pull her right down the street. Right. Yeah. People, he just watches.
He usually watches. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Have you ever brought the ball on the walk?
Yeah, he'll watch people, but when it comes to dogs, he wants to go to them.
But do you feel it's aggressive, or like he wants to meet?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. I really can't get a read on it because it.
So what have you tried? What have you tried when he does that? When he starts to go?
I try to just kind of hold him in place or turn around.
Okay.
So he can watch, because he does watch. If he sees them off in a distance, he just watches. Mm-hmm. If they get it to us, there's that certain bubble, right? There's a bubble where okay, that's too close. I gotta go. So that's where I'm trying to get.
That's
to
the
now
hard part
is-
the hard part for me on this is the I gotta go part is not seeing that.
Yeah.
That's the hard part for
Yeah.
me to see what is his thing.
Right.
It might just be
What is
excitement
the-
and he's not sure what he's doing. He's just getting excited and moving towards the dog, and I'm like, I'm not
Yeah,
sure
we
what to
did
do.
have we were in the field and I was doing the chuck a ball, and he used the facilities, if you will, and I was going to get that, and that's when somebody else came to the sidewalk, and he saw him before I did, and he had his ball in his mouth, so he ran over there. The lady did all the wrong reactions, right? I think the Doberman video with the two little yappy dogs and the lady came over.
Yeah.
That video, yeah, it was basically that. That lady turned her back and screamed, and I called him. He'd get there, and then he came right back. So he didn't continue the pursuit. So it was a meet, I guess. See what you guys are doing, and then he came right back. So it wasn't like
okay. I understand. What we have to do is like you could consider when he starts getting that fixated thing and all that. If you had the halo collar, pressing the sound.
okay.
Because I'm curious to see if that's like that. Just because all the goal you're doing is trying to break the fixation, and then you can bring something else. That's
Right.
where you could bring the ball.
That is the hardest thing to break is the fixation. Even ball, when he sees the dog, if I ball, I got the ball, nothing. It's
Yeah, because he hasn't learned this part of like getting excited and moving forward is not what we want.
yeah.
So once you can extinguish that part, then you can bring the ball and all that stuff to it. Because the point, my point is, if you brought the ball and he's like, oh, the ball, you could start working on that thing. But the fact that you bring it now and he's like, nope, I'm too focused on that thing. Then he's like, I'm so focused, and now I move forward, and it's like, beep, and like, what? That's never happened.
Would
to me
you
before.
suggest then? Would you suggest then the beeps, because those do seem to be the most effective, even though it feels negative to me, because it makes him kind of just retreat from everything. Like I think he expects.
Yeah, I know.
shock
You're saying
to
it
come
feels
after that,
negative. You're saying it feels negative in the sense that it overwhelms him.
as in just makes him tuck tail and want to retreat and cower, basically.
Yeah, you shouldn't. We don't want that part.
Yeah, I don't.
But
that's
I'm
what makes
curious.
the-
What I'm just curious about. I'm curious is in those moments he's kind of like walking by the boundary, and then that happens. He's like, oh, so he's not really like revved up and adrenalized during that.
Right.
So I'm curious to
Right.
see if like it'll have a different effect. Like it'll actually have the
Okay.
proper effect because he's a little adrenalized.
Like, okay.
And he may be
So
like,
beep, 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 if he's,
yeah, he's like
Like-
fixated, and then when he's like beep beep beep, he's like and then you stay
Okay.
there. You stay there with the leash. If he's freaking out a little bit over it, just maintain him. Don't let him run away.
Okay.
Don't let him. Just maintain it, and then you're just guiding him to settle
okay.
right there, right, boom, and then you
Yep.
get him to sit there, and he may be like, and you wait there for a second.
Wait for that sigh. That,
Yeah, wait for the calm. Like he,
Yeah.
okay.
yeah.
And now you
Okay.
continue there. You know what I mean? And then in the
Will do.
future, my
Yeah.
question would be is once he looks, and then if he's like, all right, I'm not sure what to do with that, that's when maybe you have the ball. You bounce the ball.
Okay.
You
Okay.
toss it over there, and he gets to go play with the ball and have a little fun. Because this is one of the
Right.
biggest ones too, is that people, in my opinion, are missing out on play with dogs. Like you're doing play, but like bringing play to that scenario could be great, but not.
Right.
There's nothing we can do though if he won't play because he's reacting. Is my point.
Right.
So we have to
Right.
nip that in the bud first. That
So
one.
we have to
Yeah,
nip
so
it with the beeps and then maybe go, look, here's something fun.
That's right. So for the phase, the steps will be this. Will be first step will be he's gonna go. He's like, I don't care about your ball or any of your shit, and I'm gonna go do my reaction. Beep beep beep. What the hell? You settle him. That's just the first one is gonna be that. Then you'll get to a phase where he's gonna be like, I see the dog. I know I'm not supposed to react. I'm not sure about this ball yet, and he's gonna go either way. He might still have a reaction. Beep beep beep. Settle him again. He doesn't, and he looks to you. Bounce the ball, throw the ball, toss it in, whatever, something there.
Right.
Then ideally
Okay.
you'll get to the point where down the road you're walking with him and he sees that dog and he's like, where's that ball?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then
Something
separately
positive.
from this, you can also do like finding like the right dogs for him to socialize with. You know what I mean? Balanced dogs for him to be
Yeah.
around. So dogs aren't such a novelty to him.
Right.
There's something like, what is
Yeah,
that dog gonna
because
do?
there's some really, really reactive dogs in this neighborhood.
Yeah. Those are the ones you
All
just
over
tell
the
them. It's like you would be teaching a kid like that kid is like misbehaving and crazy. We just ignore those kind of kids.
Right.
Yeah, he's not
That's
stable
kinda
right now.
like- we have a fence that we walk by that has a really schnauzery kind of yappy,
Yeah.
lot of yapping. And I try to just sit him down and calm him right there with that dog going crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good way to do it, but
You can. But you just have to be at enough of a distance where he can calm down, where he's not just like sitting there like, God, this is the worst.
right, because inside the bubble, he's got a bubble of, I don't know what the exact distance is, but inside that bubble he can't. He's just too.
That's what I'm saying. We want to like start bringing that bubble like way in, to where it's like the bubble's like not there anymore.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I wanted to just tell you is about, you said you're going to have your brother come by. His job, also, you have to look at the video. I always post it around Christmas Eve, but look at last Christmas Eve, the guest video. I'm sure you've seen it. Send that to him and just tell him his job is just to be a human there who's just, acts like that dog is not even existing.
Right.
And he's just around, and you're just practicing the dog calming down there. No feeding, no touching, no good boy, nothing. Just being around. And then when you get to the point where your dog's like, all right, and he comes over and smells them and he tolerates, then maybe you come with something he really likes. That could be the ball. That could be food. You know what I mean? And it's not like, look, I have the ball. It's just he has the ball and just tosses it.
Yeah.
You know, he has some food and he tosses like a piece of steak over to him on the thing.
Right.
And the more that happens, then he builds trust now with you and your brother. And then you bring another one of your buddies or another friend who's a guy, and then him, and then and as he has a bunch of good reps of that, then he's going to start trusting. That's what I do here. Like if I have a dog who's worried about men.
He definitely has trust issues.
Yeah, that's it. But you're always thinking with the dog, trust, respect, love. Love is like, I'm doing this with the dog. So to me, it's the trust and respect. Which one do I need? Sounds like your dog just needs trust, a lot of trust. But there are moments that we have to remind him about respect.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, because he's definitely, like you said, a manipulative. Right?
Yeah, they all are.
They're not purposefully manipulative.
Yeah.
They just know
they figure shit out.
I can do this and get what I want.
They figure it out. It's like a kid. Kids are manipulative too, but they're just trying to figure out how to get what they want.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, keep me posted how it's going and let me know.
Thank you.
All right, man.
Thank you.
Be good. All right. Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
That was a good one. I see TikTok people are like, how do I be a guest? How do I join as a guest? I have a couple questions and all this. TikTok, we're going to do a specific one for you guys, I promise. I know everyone's waiting. All right. Tanya's been waiting forever too. What's up, Tanya?
Hi, Stu. Nice to meet you again.
Nice to meet you. You look so. Why are you so familiar? Did we talk already?
Yes, we have the private consultation before.
Yeah, that's right. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
As soon as our puppy it keeps growing, so we're developing more issues. Apparently right now, because she has like the health issues, and then she has like lots of like recurring like the ear infection. So we just took her to another vet. So, and right now basically I need to do like some of her like ear cleaning, like so many just medical stuff to just like giving her drops and all that. So at the first place, because that probably started like a couple of months ago, so she was kind of like tolerate that pretty well. So right now she get tired of that, I guess. And she just started like kind of like showing the teeth, like she started growling when I'm just trying to approach her to just like do some sort of the cleaning, even if she knows, because it's kind of like a routine for her. So that's the main concern, like, because when we have it like seeing the vet, so he says like, well, you shouldn't just show your weak energy. You have to just put the muzzle on her. So, and just like do it anyways, which I did a couple of times. And apparently, because I was starting approaching that way, so it's even I just like broke out like her trust to me, because like again I'm just doing something that she doesn't want me to do it.
What is it medically that you're doing?
So basically, we just like have to give her like the ear drops, and she has like lots of the back pus leaking, because like she probably developed some sort of the allergy. We're still trying to figure it out, like what she's allergic to. And like our holistic vet, he told us that she was being like over vaccinated when she was a puppy.
Yeah.
So, and that was like trigger all of her like immune response. So right now, like she's on the bunch of the supplements, and at the same time, when I'm just leaving, like my husband, myself, like when I live in the house, like I couldn't say like she has like the separation anxiety, because like I was leaving the house like for a long time. So she was completely fine, like with my parents, because they lived with us as well. So when I got home, so she's happy. The first place she was like jumping. So we work on that one. We overcome that issue. Like same thing with the pulling as well, like the leash pulling. So right now she's fine with that one. Couldn't say she has a bunch of the reactivity issues on the dogs. It was before, but right now, like even when I'm just like let her go off the leash on the field, so some of the dogs that they're passing by, she sees them, but I'm just trying to go like further away from her, and then she kind of like stand there and making the decision, where should I go? Should I go to my human or should I go to the dog?
Yeah.
So then she just like make the choice. She just comes to me, which is like I'm happy about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, most of the and when I just like walking her, sometimes she can see the dog that she just played before. She knew them like from our neighborhood, and she can just sit and she doesn't want to move. She just wants to meet them.
Yeah.
They sniff like each other for a few minutes, and she just goes with me. But like when I just let her not to do that, so she kind of like sits silent and she's like, "You're not gonna move me." So that's why I'm just like, that's what we are struggling with right now. So. And I don't know,
What kind of
maybe
leash are you
because-
walking? So two things. So we'll talk about where she's like plants down and she won't move when she wants to meet the dog.
She just like sits, yes, and like, that's only she's reacting like that on the dogs that she met before.
Yeah,
so
because she wants to meet them. Yeah, she wants to meet them, but she's trying to make the decision of telling you, I'm going to stop and we're going to meet the dog. So that just has to be where you have to override that and put pressure on the leash, get her to move. She might take a step and stop again, pressure again, off, pressure off, and then she's going to unlock and go. And I would stop meeting those dogs right now, because if she gets to meet a lot of them, that's always available.
Right.
As far as the eardrops go, is it like a dropper that you like put the ear and then you squirt something in?
I did that, but then they said to change like the cotton balls, you know, just like to put the drop on it and then just squeeze it into her ear. But sometimes I even just like take the cotton ball or just open the bottle with the drops. She heard that sound and she just runs away. She's like kind of terrifying, and she just runs away like on her bed. And again, like I'm not trying to pull her, because I did a couple of times with the muzzle, right? Which right now I'm just to stop doing that. I said like, well, it's not working. I would rather even just to like wait and find some other ways. I'm just before even I'm feeding her.
What happens if you start petting her, if you start touching her ears like without the cotton balls and stuff?
All fine. So she's completely fine. So she's only like when she knows I have to do the procedure with her, like cleaning her paws or something, which is not really comfortable with. So she like I haven't even beaten once.
Yeah. But I get it. Just you have to make sure when you're doing that thing, you're super calm.
I can't be calm because like I'm afraid of her right now, because like she can just, if she beat me once, so I don't know like if she's gonna like do it same thing like second time, right?
Why won't you use the muzzle?
I used the muzzle once, but like right now when I'm just trying even to put the muzzle on her before the procedure, so she doesn't let me even to come close to her to put the muzzle on or a leash or something.
Because she knows that means the muzzle equals that uncomfortable experience. So you have to put the muzzle on other times. You either like put the muzzle on and then go take her for a walk, take the muzzle on, go in the backyard, muzzle in other places, and then you need to be able to go through it. And because she's already developed this, it's hard to say like without seeing it and seeing you do it, what's triggering her to do it. You could always send me that video.
Yeah.
But even like my German Shepherd isn't the most fond of like the ear stuff and everything. What I noticed was like the squirting thing really like startled him because in his ears kind of thing. So I kind of do it. He's not so fond of it, but you have to understand, like, we have to tell them, like, we get it. You don't like this thing. I'm going to do my best to stay as calm as I can and do this as gently as I can. But you getting aggressive with me is not going to get you out of the situation. So that's where, like, if you are feeling afraid without the muzzle on, then we need to create a better association with the muzzle so you can use the muzzle for this thing. Because then when you're starting to like, first you just practice, like you have her and you have all the stuff out and she's like all ready. And it's like, maybe you come with scent of food or you're trying to change the pattern of it's just like, I'm going to grab the leash, muzzle, and here comes the stuff and you're going to get this thing. Because the pattern's the same for her every time. So how can I change the pattern? It's like, well, let's change what the muzzle means to her. You know, that's the first thing we're going to do is do it in other areas. Then we're going to practice way more of like touching her ears. And then it's like, all right, the cotton ball bothers her, but what does a paper towel do? Or what does the napkin? Or does anything I could use that could go near your ear and touch? And wow, what a good girl. Pay. Where I'm not actually even doing the ear thing. You can like mimic it without actually doing it. And then you come and bring just the bottle and that might trigger. And then you get through that. And then you get through the opening of the bottle. Then you get through the cotton ball. And then you get to I'm holding the cotton ball and I'm just holding it here. Nothing happened. I'm just going to put it near you. Nothing's going to happen. And then I'm just putting it in for a minute. Oh, wow, what a good girl. It's steps to get to that thing.
Yeah, just like to have to like different approach because like right now it's kind of like, and right now sometimes when I just even invite her to take to the walk, so she refuses because she's afraid of me because I'm the one who's doing it. So she's fine with my husband because he doesn't do any of that stuff, right? Like I'm the one who's just like trying to just like help her,
But do you,
and at the
Tanya,
same time she's kind of.
Tanya, you know you have strong energy, right? Or no?
I do. That's probably what the reason why I happen to get beaten, I guess.
Yeah, but it's likely also you might be bringing a little bit too strong energy when she's like in this sensitive state.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying with that, when I mean too strong, it could be a little bit too like, come on, you're fine, come over here, you're okay, let's go, we're gonna do it, and she's like, ah. Where I would like to see the more of like the Tanya, like the softer approach, calmer approach, who still doesn't put up with that bullshit. You know what I mean? But yeah, I understand how you feel, girl, but we have to do this thing. I know. I understand you, but we're going to do it. Because that could be a big part of it. Is like, I understand it. You get into the mode of like, come here, girl, we have to do this thing. Ba-boom, ba-boom. We're going to make this very methodical. But she's getting overwhelmed by it. Obviously, she doesn't enjoy it. We get it. But it's like, how can we come with softer energy? When I say softer, I mean calmer energy. Not like, oh, baby, like that thing. No. I mean, just calm, but we're going to do this thing, and we're going to take our time to do this thing. If it takes us 40 minutes, an hour to do this, so be it. You're going to need those investments in the beginning. Because if you were local, that's what we would do with her. I'll go take her on a bunch of exercise, work her, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you hate this muzzle thing? All right, well, I'm going to just have the muzzle and hold it on the walk first. And then halfway through the walk, I'm just going to put it on you out of nowhere, and we're going to walk, and she's going to be like,
Yeah, because like right now, kind of our relationship is, to me, it seems to be gets broken, and then like she's even like terrified when I have to just take her to the walk like outside, and when like we didn't experience that before when she was a puppy, so like even some other dogs were barking like on the street, so she would passing by and she wouldn't even react. Right now, if she hears some sort of the noise, she just like run away and like. Again, I still like hold the leash, right? Like I don't let her to go too far.
runs
so I
away
just came
nervous?
closer to her. I mean,
Runs away nervous of sound?
She's really nervous, and as I said, like she seems to be like really terrifying on some of the stuff. Like even
One would be great for her. A great one to do with her would be treadmill.
Well, I was like trying to put her on the treadmill. Like she was standing, was fine, but like when I just like turn it on for her to walk, she just like jump off.
Yeah, that's where you have to have the leash short, and when she goes to freak out and jump off, you block it and keep her on. And she might be like, ah, in the beginning, a little chaotic and all this, but you just get through that, and then they eventually like, and then once they're finally like starting to do it good, you're telling them good, but you have to wait on that. You just let them get through that part, that chaos. I do that all the time with clients who come here with the dogs. I just think it's such a great tool, and the reason I'm saying it's a great tool for you, it's a confidence builder for that dog. It's something you taught them to do, which builds confidence and that builds relationship. And because she's sound sensitive, you could end up bringing, once she gets comfortable on the treadmill, you bring a speaker. And what you say, well, what are the sounds that bother her? It's truck sounds or something. All right, city truck sounds. You start it low, and then it's like beep beep, and she's like, "What's?" But I can deal with that. And the treadmill keeps her walking forward. And then over time, the more you do it, you can raise the volume like way high. So with my puppies, people thought I was just like having a party here, but I started when I had them as puppies. I had like the Sonos with like all the speakers all over and shit. So I put on music or like thunder or loud noises, but I do it like very low, and then I would just play with my dogs.
Yeah, because like it's same thing like when we have the thunder like outside, so she will be sleeping like snoring, and she wouldn't even react it like in the house.
Yeah,
it's only like lately that I just noticed that she's reacting like that, because and even like because it's winter, so it gets dark like really early, so and she's kind of like in a really dark spot, so she just like she refrained to just go in there. So she's gonna just sit where it's like, it just kind of like, she seems to be like really anxious about this stuff. And again, like maybe that's I developed because like of that ear cleaning routine or something, that I'm doing some of the stuff that she's not willing to tolerate, I guess. And
how necessary, really quick, how necessary right now is like doing the drops every day? Is it like super necessary?
Yeah, because like her ear is like really, really bad. And because like of that allergy, so she's scratching herself sometimes. And when I notice that she's scratching, so I'm just trying to approach her to block from just like basically harming herself. And the issue is because I left her, like she was sleeping, I left her in a bedroom, walked away from the bedroom probably for that 10 minutes. And then when I came back, so she was like all her pies, she was like chewing her pie. So I don't know, is this considered to be as a separation? wouldn't say that because she might be like at night, so she couldn't sleep in the main floor and we sleep upstairs. So she's not even like sleeping with us, right? So I wouldn't say like she's not following
No, it
us
sounds like
all
it's
the
allergies.
time.
It sounds like she's agitated. It sounds like she has allergies and she's licking the hell out of her paws and all of her stuff.
Right, and that's what we're trying to deal with it. But like
do a gut microbiome check. I think I told you this on the call. Like do that check so you can see if there's anything going on in the gut. Also, to see if that has anything to do with it, because a lot of these vets, in my personal opinion, is they're chasing allergies, but they never check the gut. I'm like, well, that could be throwing everything off, in my opinion.
Like she was on the detox medication, so we have been given like some detox medication. So and then right now like she's like on lots of the like supplements and as well just like the probiotics as well. And they said like just not to give her any vaccination because like our holistic vet, he said like don't do any vaccination like without do the like the titer test.
I get it. So, the goal of this is going to be is you got to change the association of the muzzle. Right? Just get it out and don't do anything with it. Just bring it out and don't do it. Right? Then you bring it on the walk and then you put it out into the backyard for a little bit and you go play and run around with her and change that association. Then you'll get to a point where like she feels okay having the muzzle on and then you come in with the muzzle on and then ideally whatever the drops are, you find some sort of like cloth or something that's very soft that you can pour on it. And first you bring that towel or that cloth and we got to get to the point without any scent or anything. We just come with the cloth and like maybe you touch a part of her body with it that she doesn't care about. She's like, oh, if you touch my bag with it, I don't care. And you get by her neck and she gets a little tense and you just say there, you're all right, girl, relax. And she, no, because you have the muzzle, so you don't worry about it. Then you get to the ear, you just touch by the ear, she tolerates it, stays calm, and then you move it away. Then you go do something else and you come back, do it again. And then you want to get to the point, my goal would be, because like the squirt and like the moving and all that thing, is put it on there and try to get it where you're giving her way more of like a nice massage. Good, nice girl, very good. And she finished it, good girl, and we go to the next thing.
So just to like bring her like more calm and more relaxed, I guess, before this procedure.
Yeah, and you got to change because right now she knows the pattern. She knows that what's going to happen is like once you either grab that muzzle or grab the what do you call it? The drops or any of that stuff, that's going to means that now that mom's gonna come in and she's gonna not recognize that I'm uncomfortable and keep moving like and making me do this and she's not getting what I'm telling her.
Yeah, and that's usually what is happening when she's just start like showing her teeth or growling. So I'm just like walking away, just to let it be because like otherwise again, I know if I'm gonna do something that without basically her permission, so I'm going to be just to get beaten again. And I said like, well, that's not what I would like to experience all the time.
I would just, so if you do approach and she starts showing teeth like that, don't just walk away, just stop and stay there. And she's going to, and then you walk away. So she understands calmness gets you away, not showing teeth. We'll talk more about it though. If we need to do another one, let's do another call on this to do it. And send me some videos. Send me some videos of what's happening so I can see it too. Like don't do anything crazy. Like you're gonna don't do any crazy pressure, but just be like, this is the routine that I do, and this is like kind of what she does, so I can see it. All right.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna send you a video, and then we can schedule another like one-to-one session. So
let's do that. Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tanya.
Appreciate it.
Be good. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
All right. That was a good one. Where's Ellie? Okay. Ellie.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. How can I help you?
So I talked to you last time, I think. I don't know if it was last Thursday or the Thursday before, but I did what you said because my dog is a little reactive, very high energy, purebred, pocket pit bull, Willow.
Yeah.
And I got a walking pad for free.
Nice.
So, and it's like the perfect size for her. Yeah, thank you.
That's amazing. So how's it been going?
Okay, so I heard what you said to the lady before me that if they start to question it when it's on and they want to jump off, to hold them on there.
Yeah.
I've only worked with her one other time since I got it, and I did that, and I think I kind of traumatized her by like pushing her through that. I wasn't loud. I wasn't like a bunch of energy. I was just like this strong physical force trying to keep her on there and not let her mind get to her, the fact that it's starting to move and she doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So she didn't really click with it. I literally had a spoon full of peanut butter in front of her and she still was just too in her head about it moving under her feet. So today I was just working on it while I was waiting in the queue to talk to you about it. And like I got as far as she saw it, I brought it out. She did not like it. I just had her on a leash and just had her watch me walk on it. And then I would turn it off. I'd let her like walk around it, get comfortable with it, walk over it. Like I have like little sprinkled cheese to like give her little bits of it when she was doing like confident things around it. And now I'm as far as to I can get her to stand on it and like not leave it because she knows it's gonna turn on. Also with the remote, if she saw me like touch the remote too, she'd be like, oh no, like you're gonna turn it on. But now we're like past that. I can touch the remote, and if I don't turn it on, she can stand on it. It's just when I turn it on, she wants to abort mission.
Yeah, so you've gotten to the point where she can be around it, she can be near it, and walk on it and all that stuff. But it's the moment when it starts.
It's like the movement aspect, and she's like not terrified, but like I don't know if your only suggestion is probably just to keep that physical tension of like
not tension. So that's the thing. What a lot of times I have to help people with when people come here and we do treadmill, I do the first one, just because the first one can be a little chaotic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I get, trust me, I've had dogs who will pee themselves, shit themselves, anals, freaking out, the whole thing. And that's the beginning of it, because the floor moved. Oh my God. And then people want to stop it there because look, she's panicked. I'm like, yeah, but like, can we get through this? And then people are like, no, she's nervous, get her off. And that's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
Because if she learns that in a state of panic and flight, that's how it ends, she's going to do that each time. And she's just going to confirm to her that's what it is. So when I say like keep them on there, I'm not saying like keep a freaking tight leash and you're staying here and doing it. I'm keeping the leash short but not tense. And the moment she starts freaking out, I'm kind of like, if she starts to come off this way, I'm blocking and just getting her back and then reducing the tension when she's in the middle. The other thing I saw too is that you have that right in the middle of the room. So yes. It's a little bit more challenging that way because she can get off all four sides.
Okay.
So what you may want to do is bring that thing into a corner.
Okay.
So you have like the one side is blocked by the wall and the front is blocked by the wall.
Okay.
So now the only exit so now you have the physical barrier of those two. The only way she could do is go off the back or come off towards you. So you can just block her from coming off you. If she starts going back, you let her go back a little bit. And then when she feels the gap, you just guide her back to the front.
Okay.
Where do you live again, by the way?
I live in Central Mass. So it's like, we already got our first snow.
Yeah, we have snow here too.
Yeah, dark out early.
Here in Jersey, it's like up here. I'm in the mountain up here. I'm like 1,000 feet up here. So it's like snow all over here. And I go into the normal part of Jersey in New York. It's all wet. It's all just rain and shit. But yeah, that's that's the goal of it. And what I would tell you is like you have to do it in a way of like, I'm going to do this thing. And even if she freaks out, I'm saying put it on like 0.1 mile per hour, barely moving.
Okay. I think the lowest it goes as 0.6. And even that too, like I'll leave it on and I'll have her just walk around and get used to it moving. But like she even put her paw on it too while it was moving. And I'm like, oh, should I try to have her like just hop on it while it's moving really slow?
Yeah.
Or but even then she's
the
like,
issue is I get it because like people are going to stop it because like I don't know if I'm doing this right and they end it there. But the problem is that she learns the association is like the last thing because what matters the most to dogs is the last thing that happened.
Yeah. Okay.
So if I had a dog who was reactive towards a dog, he was trying to kill the German Shepherd the whole time, but then we finally finish it where he was calm and we could walk with the German Shepherd. That's the most important part. All that other crap happened. Yeah. So what? But the ending was the most important. So when I do it, like I assure you, there's times it's chaos. So the dog spinning and then all this thing, there's all the craziness. And then like as we go, it takes time and they can kindly do it and then they stop. Don't let them just come off. Settle them there, wait for them. So once you stop it, then you have to wait for her to calm all the way, not just come off. And then when she's calm, you invite her off and celebrate.
Okay, perfect. And how often would you say I should practice with her? Because this isn't like to replace going outside. This is just to like, if it's dark out, like if I just got home from work.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, as much as you can.
Okay.
Like my point is, if you brought her here, I would like be like, all right, let's go do treadmill.
Yeah. Okay.
And we would do it. And I would just be committed to the first one. If I know she's probably going to freak out and panic a little bit, but what the message I'm trying to send her is I'm still going to stay calm, confident, even when you're in a panic and freaking out. And I'm going to support you and guide you through this.
Okay, perfect.
Which is big freaking points as a leader into a dog.
All right.
Because at first it's normal for them. The floor moves. It's like an earthquake. That's the only time the floor moves for a dog.
Yeah.
Which triggers flight, right? So so to them, the floor is moving. Oh my God, run, get out of here. We're just helping them realize that there's nothing to run from here. This is just a machine that goes, and we're teaching you how to use these human things we made.
Okay.
And you're going to be able to do this because I'm going to support you through it. And we're doing it. And when I'm doing this, I'm not in the mentality of like, why is this dog being so nervous? Da, da, da. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I get it. I get why she's feeling this way. I understand, but I'm going to help her through it.
Yeah, and I just want her to enjoy it too. Like, it's going to benefit her, but I just don't want her to feel like she's going to hate it every single time, like it's torture.
No. It should be good. And then once you get her to the point where she's not so afraid of it, that's when you start bringing good stuff to it. You bring the food, you bring other things, pets. Wow, what a good girl. Wow, look at you. I'm so proud of you. Like, I do that with the dogs because I want them to feel like, wow, to us, it's like you're walking 0.5 on the treadmill. Who cares? But to the dog, it's like, oh my God, I did it.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's going to
help. Yeah, because it's like sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah. That's going to help build a lot of confidence, I was just going to say.
No, yeah. Because I also have looked into the ones where it's like the dogs can move it themselves. And, like, those ones are so expensive. Like the manual movement ones that the dogs do themselves. And I'm like, I got this one for free from one of my friends. And like, I don't know if I'm doing it right, kind of thing. Like, I hope that this is what he meant by a treadmill.
Take a video and send it to me of when you're doing it.
Yeah.
And I'll says it for you.
Perfect. I will, definitely.
But keep us posted. Also, go ahead.
Yeah. I just want to say, like, I really like what you do. And I kind of looked into, like, the dog business training. And I just didn't know if you had any suggestions of, like, what programs to go through or if there's...
It's a good question. That's a good question. So someone asked me that at the last workshop. They came up to me. They just walked up and they were like, Steve, what would you suggest for somebody who wants to become a trainer, right? And my suggestion is, this is what I did. So, of course, it's going to be a little bit of my suggestion. But my suggestion would be if you can find somebody in your area or anywhere near you who's doing dog psychology and offer to volunteer.
Okay.
That's a great one. Doing dog walking, the best. That's where it all starts. Like handling is such a big part of it. And that's where I started. I wasn't planning, like when I did the dog walking thing, I was like doing it as something to make some money before my next career. So I wasn't planning on this. It just kind of happened. And then I realized by doing like handling dogs in a real world environment, walking them and going in their apartment and taking them out and doing all those things, how much skill I was getting. How much I really learned. So for years before I ever talked to a person about what they should do with a dog, I walked dogs in the city of Hoboken all over the place. I used to walk a big pack of dogs all over, but it started with one dog. Then I added a second dog and then another one. But then I started getting to learn from other dogs. And now I'm like, all right, I'm really understanding this thing. I'm seeing what it is. I see how they behave. You follow my stuff. So I'm giving away a ton of info on this stuff so you can learn from that. And then there are some programs out there you could do. Like, I mean, look, I would say like, if you want to do dog psychology, my suggestion, if you can swing it, is go do the workshop that Caesar teaches. That's 5 straight days of dog psychology from the guy who's like, who basically like brought it to the world.
I know. I always used to watch his shows too on Animal Planet.
He also has an online group where you can like, it's like $18 a month or $25 a month or something, and he does a weekly call like this. He just he does it in a private group, but he basically shows something for like 20 minutes. He talks about a topic and then he goes to Q&A.
Okay.
So that's another one you could get for more information. But yeah, it's really like, you know what it is, I would tell you, is a lot of people are thinking like, what's the program? Like, what's the like this?
Yeah,
like do I go to this program and then I get
a piece of paper that says I'm certified kind of thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, and the reason I say about the certifications is like I was certified by these things early in my career because I thought you're supposed to, and it was like I want to be a certified trainer. Fill out this application, send in a check, by the way, and then go to some local testing center and do a multiple choice test.
Yeah.
And I got a 177 or 178 out of 250, correct? Because like the things they were saying, I was like, what are they talking about? This doesn't even make sense. Anyway, I was certified, but that meant nothing. It was a piece of paper that I paid for.
Yeah.
So it's like, what is the real skill? Do you know it? I mean, but this is why I'm doing the lives too, is people see like, you can ask me anything. I'm like, go live. I'll bring anybody on and ask me shit. And it's not because I took some program, right? My point is that I put in the work with the dogs and they taught me the most. And then I got more guidance from Caesar early in my career, which really expedited things I just didn't know, right? Mm-hmm. And then from being around those type of people, I learned way more experience, different dogs. Going to the shelter is a great one. You know what I mean? Going to the shelter and saying, hey, do you have any dogs that are like your easier dogs? I just want to get them out for a walk, and you practice walk. Those dogs are desperate for a walk.
Yeah.
So you take the easy ones out and start practicing the easy dogs. Like, who's like not that bad? I'll take this guy. And you work on that time when you're with that dog, developing a little relationship and working on the leash skills.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's a great industry to be in. And I would say the last thing about it is it requires an immense amount of self-awareness.
Okay. Just like self-regulation.
Yep. And self-regulation, yes, but understanding your own emotions, understanding how you react to things, and starting to see that stuff. Because my point is like when it comes down to when the billionaire calls me and I have a dog who's aggressive and all this shit, and I'm in, and he guards the window, and I go to claim the window, and I have no protection on. The dog is growling at 1 inch away from my thing with his teeth, ready to bite me. There's no program or no dog training book or anything that can make me stay calm in that moment.
Okay.
So what prevented me from getting bit in that moment was all my experience, and then the calmness and his confidence in that moment. So the calmness, the confidence, which comes from the knowledge and the experience.
Okay.
Because if you are going to work with dogs like that, which you don't have to, by the way, this is why I always want to remind people too, if anyone's watching here in the dog training thing, you don't have to be a dog trainer who takes on the aggressive Akitas and Presa Canarios and Pitties. You don't have to do that.
Yeah, I saw that. I looked at the local trainers around, and there was one lady, she was like, I don't take on like the habits that, like the bad habits, like aggressive dogs.
That's fine. And she could make a bunch of money and enjoy her career. You could be an obedient, you could do agility. You could teach dogs how to swim. You could be the master puppy trainer, the puppy expert trainer.
True.
Because the world, I'm telling you that the world needs, if anyone said to me, like, what would be the best place to go into right now? I'm like, puppy training.
Okay.
That's where it starts.
Yeah, definitely.
So teaching people from the get-go about dog psychology and getting this dog in the proper thing right from the beginning. So you're in prevention, not intervention. Because intervention is a lot harder than prevention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And pretty much just having all that knowledge and being able to explain it to the owners, because I did do dog walking the past 3 months, and then I kind of just burned out from like molding to everyone's needs.
Yeah, I get it. Just remember, like during that, it's not so much about I want this to be like my career. It's more the experience.
Okay.
So I used to put up with that crap too, of like, take them out of this way, and then I was like, whatever. Like, but you're really more focused on like, let me get that dog out and work with that dog.
Yeah.
Just have time with dogs. Like, I didn't plan this, is what I'm saying. I just spent so much time with dogs, so I had no other choice. Like I got into this walking thing, and I started to develop like demand. I had to deal with it. I didn't have assistants or work like employee. I had nothing. I was by myself. So there was no other option. So I had to go do it. And I was like, is this fun? Not only that wasn't always fun, because you're dealing with challenging dogs and walking upstairs and elevators and all the shit that you're doing with the dogs, but you learn a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also, not to jump the gun, but at that point in your life where you were doing multiple dogs at once and you were the pack leader, like I'm obviously not there yet, but how did you transport all these dogs at once? Because it just feels wrong doing like a dog walking business, getting all these dogs together and putting them in my car and not like a dog van.
I get it. Yeah. So the thing was where I used, because Hoboken is just 1 square mile where I used to do it. So I would just like go to that area and grab dogs and do it there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then bring them in and be like, this is what I could do. So in the beginning, you just take a smaller thing, because it's not really about the money. I mean, if you need it for the money, then you got to do what you got to do. But to me, it's more for the experience than the money of it.
Okay. So one-on-one.
Yeah. One-on-one's good. And then once you get a good one, then you bring a second dog and you practice 2 at a time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Then you go to 3, then you go to 4. Then on a weekend, you get a couple together, you get some kennels or something, or people meet you there and you practice with all of them, a bunch of them.
Perfect.
Yeah. And then you'll get demand. And then eventually you'll hire a person. Then you all of a sudden have to start learning business and all that stuff. But then that becomes, do you want to do business? If not, then go partner with somebody who knows business.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Hey, I need help like running a business, but I want to be the person who does it, and give them like a little percentage of the business, and they just help you with the business side of things.
Okay.
Yeah. I was thinking about doing something like that. I was thinking about doing like some consulting business for people who are starting.
Yes.
Like being like, all right, so what should I do now? And like coach you to like start your career. That might be something I'll do. Just got to figure out the time to do that.
Yeah, because I had the insurance.
They're all laughing. They're all laughing as I said I'm going to do something else like that. They're like, yeah, okay, like when were we doing that?
Yeah,
but,
like add it on to the bucket list.
Yeah, but I'm trying. I'm trying my best. You know,
you're doing great.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah, that's what I would say. And then if you ever want like more guidance on this, of course, you know that we have we could grab my time. We could talk more about it.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ellie. Great talking with you. Be good.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. I'm going to do 2 more. Peter. What's up, Peter?
Hi, Steve. How you doing?
What's up, man? How can I help you?
Good. First of all, thank you so much for your stuff. Like the puppy stuff, like calm eye contact when feeding, like changed.
It's amazing.
Raising that puppy. I got a very active, anxious, but growing confident rescue cattle dog. Basically, a lot of it's everything that you had with Ellie in terms of like the treadmill.
Okay.
Just to be like straightforward, I think like the lowest setting might be still too fast.
Okay.
And he like can get around it, everything. He just goes like flat, frozen, all on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to get him to use a treadmill because he's very anxious when I leave the house, and I'm trying to get him, exercised and tired. I take him on long walks, but that's not always an option. So I don't know, like the frozen, like I try like holding him off the ground, so it's like a little more gentle, so he can like try catching a stride.
So even when it's like really slow, like he just flattens out.
Yeah.
And what do? You have a leash on or no?
What I've tried doing is I try holding him like at the front, and then he like And I've even tried like again gently but like calmly, like try like
but he just like pancakes out.
Yeah.
Have you tried it with a leash or no?
No, I have not. But I like I don't want to like choke him or anything. Like I could try. Yeah.
You just might need it. You just might need it for when he pancakes and he starts like sliding to the back. Like no tension there, but when he starts hitting the like to the back. It's not so much of like dragging him forward. It's more like pop, and get him to the forward.
Okay.
Because this is my point, just so you understand what I'm saying, is like if he starts drifting back and you put leash pressure and you just have consistent and start bringing him, he's going to resist even more.
Oh, right. So not consistent. So the opposition reflex.
That's right. So he's going to start going back. You let it go back, and as he's almost to the edge and he's about to like trip up on the edge, you just put boop, like just enough to just like get him to come back forward, like or pop just to get him back to the front. He might go again, pop again. He's gonna realize like by doing that a bunch of times, it's not working for him.
Yeah, and I also want to maybe teach him like with some treats or something, just like the method to while it's stationary to like go across. Maybe
you could do that. That's the first part, just like getting him on it, off of it, the approach, being there, food and stuff. Then once you started, he's gonna have that kind of panic reaction and pancake or whatever. You get through that, and then he's gonna be a little bit like, how do I do this? That's where you just stay calm and support him through it. And then once he's doing it a little bit better and he's doing good boy, and then you stop it once he's committed to doing it.
Okay.
And you invite him off. Because my point is, I was going to say about the food is a lot of people would say, all right, he's starting to do it. Bring the food now. It might be too soon.
Too soon?
It could be that you got to let him go through it first. See, like, what does it do? How's it going? Because my point is, if you bring the food when he's in the pancake, I don't care about the food. That's right. So we just got to do it in a way of like, once we get past that part, then you could bring the food when he's like, all right, I'm doing this, but I don't know like why we're doing this.
Yeah, I guess the food was more like while it was stationary to like
to lure him. Yeah.
To I guess even get him to like walk to the front, just to know that like the direction,
Yeah.
Okay. And then just a really quick one is like I like that he barks when there's something at night, like a noise at night.
Alert. Yeah.
I don't want to ruin that because it's a good behavior. How would I like, okay, great, thank you for that, but that's like enough. Like we can disengage. Like I don't want to like mess up.
That's a good question. Yeah. So I always suggest to people like we want our dogs to bark when there's something to alert us. Like that's the best security system around, right? Like if I talk to police officers here, they're like, your number one security system's dog. Then it's like get actual cameras and right? So we want the barking, but we want to have limits on barking. So what it would look like, I would just keep a leash on him in the house. He's dragging a leash. And then what does he do? Someone walks by the window or something or the door and he barks?
At night, like I fall asleep on the couch. He'll be in the bedroom. He like barks when I put my first foot down or something. As one example. But like any movement or like or someone in another room will turn the cover and start barking or yeah. So
he's a sensitive guy. He's a sensitive dog.
Yes, very much. Yeah.
The treadmill's going to help you with that. Once you get him on past that part and you can start making sounds and do those sounds and stuff, tell whoever's in the room up there, hey, make that sound.
Okay.
And he's going to, I got to do this.
Yeah.
So then you can get to the point of that happening more and more and more that it just starts desensitizing him because he's like, I'm doing something and his mind is moving forward and he's doing good with that.
No, sorry. But like if the separate the treadmill thing, meaning like, I'm sorry. Like.
No, I understand what you're saying. I know, I get you. I was just saying that when you accomplish this treadmill thing, it's going to help you with that.
Oh, all right. Just exercising and lower the
because my point is if it's somebody just in the house barking and stuff, is it coming from I'm nervous or is it coming from I'm excited and alerting?
I'm even talking about in the dead of night, right? Like he's resting and then a bump in the night and I have other people in the house that are sleeping, like guests, and like I don't want him to like wake them up. So I want
that's I understand it because the thing is like you starting to address him and tell him be quiet right now. It's
going to reinforce not to bark, right? Like it's going to tell him. Like,
yes, but it's I'm trying to think like how I can say this the best way. If you just tell him to stop, he's going to stop barking, right? And it's like that's not the real goal of this. The goal of this is to be able to be like, we want you to bark. My point is that his barking is he's sensitive and nervous.
Yes. Okay. I get it.
So once you deal with the treadmill and start doing that stuff, you're going to ideally reduce the sensitivity and nervousness because you're gonna be
Okay.
able to like play the sounds and do some noises and do some stuff that will help you desensitize him from these sounds and stuff. He won't be reacting to every sound now because he's got another thing he's doing.
Okay, forgive my ignorance, but then when will he bark for real? Like when if there's like a crash, like a glass, something new or
Yeah, it's something that's actually worth barking for, because then now he'll realize someone making a sound in your house upstairs is nothing to worry about.
Okay, I see. So it's just lower his energy levels, his anxiety levels, so that.
So then the alert is actually a real alert.
Gotcha.
Someone's
Makes sense.
outside. I heard a noise out there. You know, like my point is that like if my shepherd, if like something fell here, like he's not gonna be like because he's not on edge
All
because
right,
we've
makes
done all
sense.
that. You know what I'm saying? So do that
Perfect.
work with him and then see. It's in the phases of this. So let's see how we do the treadmill and stuff and help him with that thing. And then you start making some noises and do some of those things because the treadmill will do it for you. Is my point. Like he's like, okay, I can do this treadmill. Then the noise happens, and he's just drifting to the back. Oh shit! Wait, what?
Cool.
So,
All right.
so just him having to do that activity is reminding his brain, hey, snap out of it.
Perfect. All right, thank you, Steve.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Keep me posted how it's going and let me know.
Thank you again.
All right, bro. Have a great one.
You too.
All right. Andrea, we're going to bring you in. And the rest of you guys, I apologize. There's only so much time I could do this thing. But we're going to do another one next week. We'll figure it out. But we'll let you guys know when the next one's going to be. I see you guys in here. I see Sonny. I see you. So if you want to come on the next one, you can email Jamie. How are you, Andrea?
Good. Thanks for doing this.
Of course. Happy to do it. How can I help you?
So I have a 6-month-old German Shepherd mix that we rescued a few months ago, and he's a great dog, so sweet. 4 kids that their ages range from 2 to 12, and my 6-year-old son specifically loves to like chase with him, run around with a toy, chase him, and he and the dog, my dog loves it, loves grabbing a toy, having my son Jacob chase him. And I know because I've had a shepherd before. I know what that leads to. It leads to like the nipping, the herding instincts. They want to try to mouth on the kid and stuff like that. I'm trying to find a good balance between like, and he also has like a rope tug toy. So I always say like, if you want to do the rope tug toy, that's okay. But in general, like don't take anything out of his mouth. Don't try to grab anything from him. And then there have been a couple times where he's like mouthed the kids kind of hard that it's hurt them. No blood or anything, but like
just do intense.
Yeah. And so, and it's one of those things like I know why he did that, and it's hard. It's a hard balance because I want them to play. I want them to be able to go outside and run around, but other than them playing like stationary fetch, which I've taught them how to do, because he does it with me. Like he knows how to drop the tennis ball. I sit there, I throw it. My 6-year-old, he's in kindergarten. He has like a ton of energy. He just wants to go outside and run with the dog. And my daughters as well, they want to do that too. And so I'm just not sure how to balance. And the dog again loves it. So there's not like, it's not like, so I'm just not sure how to balance that, or if you have any suggestions for like.
So the biggest thing you want to
play.
overcome is when the 6-year-old's running like and having fun and the dog's chasing him. Is that what you said?
Both, yeah.
Oh, they
do
chase
both,
each other. Okay. And then he starts getting to a certain point where he starts to get mouthy.
Yes, sometimes, yeah.
So that's where you have to stop the game right there.
Right, and we do.
That's really it. And then it's not the easiest to like tell the 6-year-old like, hey, like explain it to him like he's a kindergartner, obviously, but
right.
What does he do for exercise in a normal day? What's his normal stuff?
A dog. My dog.
Yeah.
So I take him out. So first thing in the morning, a neighbor and I, we walk our dogs about 2 miles in the morning. And then I'm kind of in and out of the house throughout the day. I work part-time. And so he really doesn't get any kind of like intense exercise until the kids get home and they want to play outside and they all just kind of run around before dinner. And I usually take him for like a shorter walk at night.
Okay. So he's getting exercise.
The treadmill I've been working on with him as well, a walking pad. I have a feeling it might be too small for him. I don't know because he's about 65 pounds right now.
The shepherds need a long one, longer.
So he's like tall. He's a mix. So he's like a taller. We had a full-blood German Shepherd before.
He should just be able to walk with a full thing and not be like right at the edge. Like he's got to have a little bit of room to make a little bit of error and stuff.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So I just didn't know if it's something like I should just tell the kids not to do it all.
That's
or
the hard part. Because I have like a 20-month-old son, so I'm like I deal with it to a degree of like the ripping around and running around type thing. Yeah. I honestly I let the dogs play with him a little bit, but I just really don't let them do that much of the chasing thing just because of what it can turn into. I'm like, can we, like,
Right.
how can I turn this into another game where like they can both run or play? And I get him to like throw the ball a little bit. But he's 20 months and he's like, anyway, I'm going to do something else now kind of thing. And then I just continue throwing the ball and stuff. One thing you could practice too is allowing your son to run around and practice keeping the dog on like a place or making him not chase. Because he knows how to do it. My point is he knows how to chase him. You know, he knows how to go get him and do all those type of things. But does he know how to not chase him?
Okay.
So that's something,
a good idea. And
you know what I mean? You could do like more exercise that day, like take him for a bunch of exercise. And then you come in the yard and you do place. And then the kid starts to run around. He's probably going to break the place and you go, and then no, get back. Go ahead again.
Okay.
No, get back. And then to the point where he finally surrenders to it. Okay. And then once he relaxes, then you can let him off and go do it. And then if he starts getting a little bit, you want to just try catching it when I'm sure you can see it. You can feel it when it's starting to get like a little bit escalated.
Yeah, usually when he has something in his mouth, he obviously is not going to mouth the kids because he has something in his mouth. And so, but I'm also not sure, like, if he mouths the kids, do I immediately like punish the dog? Or do I just stop the play altogether? Like, I don't.
No, you just stop it right there and send him back to calm. So that he understands the limit. So that's like what we do in the dog park, right? When I bring the dogs to the park, when we're teaching a new dog how to be with like the group and stuff, from 0 to 10, we tolerate 0 to 5. So your 5 is like right around the time where he's going to think about nipping and mouthing. So the more, so for us, that's like when the dog's starting to get a little aroused, like, I'm going to jump on the dog. Maybe should I hump them? Should I like something else?
Yeah.
And that's when we'll just come right to the dogs, right to them. And if it's a new dog, we'll leave like a long line on. So if they go to leave, we can just step on the leash, settle them right there. And they're not allowed to leave that spot until they calm down. And once they're calm, I'll just mark it. I do the shush thing, but you could just be like, enough. That's it.
Right.
So I do shush. So I'll go, shh. Like when they're in this, like, and then when they got it, I just literally walk away from that moment.
Okay.
So you could just like, he's out there, he's chasing your son, and he goes, he starts looking at the legs or whatever his thing is. And you're going to want the one, which is, for me, it would be, shh. Right? Whatever you're going to use, it could be, hey, enough, quiet, stop, whatever. You're going to use that. He's going to disregard it because he's not going to know what it means. And then you're going to just calmly and confidently go to him, take him, settle him down. And he might be like, you're not leaving here.
Right. Okay.
Until you calm down. You may have to put a little pressure to like make him sit down, lay down. And he might be like, come on, when's the end of this? It's like, no, that's actually what we're teaching you right now. It's not like a quick stop and then go back. It's actually stop and go all the way back to calm surrender state. Then once you've achieved that and you listen to that, I'll let you go back and play. And the more you do that, he's going to learn to self-regulate.
Sure. If there's ever a situation where like I'm in the kitchen like cooking or something and they're outside playing and I can't supervise them as directly as I normally would, is there anything I could tell the kids to say to him or any commands I could tell the kids or what I could tell the kids to do other than just like stopping play altogether if he gets too mouthy?
Depends what they're capable of.
Yeah, I mean, the 6-year-old boy, I don't want to say he has no respect for him, but like he totally treats him like a puppy.
Yeah.
You know? My older girls, he'll listen to them. Jacob, it's almost like they're just playmates. So I'm just trying to think of a way I could teach him something.
I get it. This is what I would do is I would tell you first. I think what you have to do is you yourself, you do it consistently. Like you're monitoring for like a month. Like this month, I'm going to be, anytime the dogs are playing with the kids, I'm monitoring. Because you're teaching them. This is the teaching for him to understand of like what we want.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then you're going to say like, I really feel like he's getting it. And he's done. We haven't really had to stop him at all anymore. Look, I like if you're asking me like what could the kids do? It's just difficult to say because it's a German Shepherd with the kids. And knowing him, I don't want to give you the wrong advice or give someone in here the wrong advice. So in my opinion, it should be the parents really doing it. And then the kids are learning from the parents.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you get to the point where maybe it's like, see how mommy did that? So do you want to try doing that? And then you go with your son to do it.
Okay, that makes sense.
So he can like turn to the dog and say, hey, or show whatever you call it to be. And the dog may disregard, but you're also there saying, no. You better listen to him.
Right. And he'll listen to me, 95% of the time.
Yeah. So that's it. Then he's going to start. What I was going to say is like when I do that with the dogs in the dog park, we don't have to like do that for like the whole life of the dog. It's like the first few times kind of thing. And then it's all here and there. And then they got it. We're not doing it anymore.
Sure. Okay. And then do you think like the tugging games, like we have like a really long like rope tug thing. You think that's okay to do?
Yes. I do it, but it's a game. Just remember, there's games that are with dogs. There's competition games, and then there's like retrieving games.
Okay.
Kind of like free play.
That's
games.
more of a competition game.
That's competition. So I just tell people, like, just make sure that you have leadership with your dog if you're going to do that game, and you have control of the game.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So just do that. You can. There's nothing wrong with it if he enjoys it and stuff. Just make sure you have total control of the game. When you tell him to drop it, he drops it. And when the game's over, in my personal opinion, you should be able to put the thing on the floor, and he has to walk away from the toy.
Okay.
A lot of people with the toys. Yeah, a lot of people with the toys, what they do, they'll play with the ball and they throw, and then they take the ball and then they just like put it in their pocket and bring it inside. But the dog never like turned off the game. And then they put the ball in the closet or up there, and the dog's like sitting staring at the ball. So the game never turned off to the dog. It just physically went away. He can't play.
Okay.
We want him to psychologically give up the game because we told him the game's over.
Right.
The overall message is like, dude, I'll play competition like tug with you as long as you follow my leadership. You follow the rules of this game. You give it up when I tell you to give it up. We'll play the game. But if you start acting stupid and try to compete with me and not listening and stuff like that, we're not playing. Game over.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Like at first, I thought I had to stop the together with the kids, but it's so hard. I mean, just because the puppy loves it. Needs the exercise.
Yeah.
Again, like 99% of the time, he's totally appropriate with how he plays with the kids. So it's just kind of teaching the kids. I'm glad that it's an app. It's like not something that I have to completely forbid.
No. You just put limits on it. You put limits on it. Yeah, you just put limits because you just don't want to start escalating where now the kids come over and he's like, yeah, like who's coming in now?
Yeah, that's
who can I go herd now? Who can I herd?
We have kids that come over and they might not be cool with dogs or not like dogs.
That's right.
He might do the same thing with them.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. So that's why we just want to make sure we have that limit. So when there's the kid who's like, oh, I'm nervous about the German Shepherd place, stay there. The kids are going to run around and stuff like that. And you'll know when that kid's going to come over kind of thing, and you drain him way more, you know, to see if he's away. I do that. Like when I'm having a party or we're having like, we're going to have Christmas, we have Thanksgiving and stuff, like get the drinks for the people. I don't drink anymore, but get the drinks, get the food, clean the house, drain the shit out of the dogs. That's like my 4 things every time. So when the people come, because people are going to come with excitement, they're going to, hey, get the drinks
every time,
the whole thing's going. So the dogs are going to be like, why are these people like this? But if they're tired, they're like, I don't know what these people are, just rest anyway.
Yeah.
And that happens. The more that happens, the more that's what people mean coming over.
Yeah, and he's good about going in his crate. Like if there's a bunch of kids running around and he just can't, he's too excited, I'll just put him in his crate to calm down. And he's good about that. So.
Just make sure if he does that you settle him first, then put him in the crate.
Okay. Definitely don't do that. I'll
just do it like if he's getting too much, he's getting a little rambunctious. Practice stopping him. And now that's done now. And now it's like, now the next decision I made is I want you to go rest and decompress.
Okay.
Versus like he was in it and then he kind of just got physically removed and the crate calmed him. I want you to calm him and then you to tell him to go rest in the crate.
Okay. Do you recommend using like treats or any kind of like reinforcement like that to get him to calm down, or just using commands and
food's not really gonna, if he likes food, it's not gonna calm him down.
Yeah.
But if you achieve a calm state and you feed him in calmness, so it's like, can you so look at the question you just asked, can I use food to calm him? Depending on his association with food.
Yes, he's very food motivated. We've used treats kind of throughout his training and like that, especially with like recall and stuff like that. So he's starting to wean off of them, but we still use them. And I think whenever I'm like desperate to get his attention, if he's outside, if I think he's going to try to jump the fence, I usually will say something like, come in and get some cheese, and he'll come in and get the cheese if he's not listening.
I get it.
So he's doing better with that, but that was we did that with my shepherd too, because he runs off leash at my parents. They have a 5-acre wooded area not too far from us. And so I really had to get that recall down. So anyway, but he loves food. He's very food motivated. So getting him to a calm state and then giving him the reward is what you're saying.
Yeah, because you asked, like, can I use food to calm him? That's what I'm saying is like, if he gets excited in the presence of food, then probably not.
Right.
But if I bring food and he's just like, oh, food, then I'm just gonna wait for him to be calm and pay him in that state.
Sorry, I think
we lost Andrea. She doesn't want to talk to us anymore. She didn't like that one that we couldn't use food, I guess.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, it cut out there for a second.
Andrea, we lost you, but... I see you. I hear you, I mean. I don't see you, though. Anyway, you got the point. You know what to do.
Okay, yeah. I think we're all set. And again, I appreciate you doing this. And yeah, you gave me a lot of good pointers. So we love
Good.
following you on Instagram. I love showing you my kids your videos and
I
stuff like
appreciate
that.
it.
We love watching you and Caesar. So
I'll try not to curse as
yeah.
much so the kids don't learn any bad things. I know that's the problem. I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
I try to preview them before I show them, but they really love watching that kind of stuff.
I got to make like a Pack Leader Kids channel or something where it's like edited, because like I just have. It's very difficult for me to not have that talk where I grew up.
Right.
I'm trying my
And
best.
if
I
you
just want to
have,
be
like,
authentic
any-
and like talk with people. And when I'm like thinking about, wait, don't curse. I'm like, wait, what am I saying? Like I just get crazy with that.
Yeah, no, the cursing, I don't really, cursing doesn't really bother me too much. My kids
Okay.
have seen plenty of movies where people curse, and I have an Italian family, so it's all good.
Okay,
but
you get it. Where are you from, by the way?
Yeah. So I'm in Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
Okay. Well, keep me posted how it's
Originally
going.
from New Jersey.
Okay. Where?
I was born in Englewood, and I lived in Ridgewood, and then I moved down here when I was in kindergarten. So I've been down here for
That's funny.
30 some years.
So Ridgewood is one of the locations that we service for our camp now.
Really?
Yeah, we do
I bet you
Ridgewood.
make good money there. That's a very nice.
And then,
nice
and then I
town,
was
so-
I just had to get a new car for my wife for the kids and stuff, and I just got it from Englewood, from the Lincoln dealer down there. It's crazy. It's
There
like
you go.
the two places you just mentioned. But awesome. Well, keep me posted on how it's going. If you need any more help, obviously I'm here to help you any way I can.
Okay, great. And if you think about posting any like kid videos, I've had a hard time finding them on YouTube, like kid appropriate play. I found like a couple from Caesar, but
Okay.
I would love that. And I have some friends that also mentioned like they would love to see kind of stuff like that. So
Interesting. That's a good video to do.
if you feel like if it's not just me and a lot of people kind of want that, I think that would be great to see some videos.
The two that I thought of out of this call today, where I should make a video with a dog, like raw dog who has never done treadmill, so people can see the process. We'll do it with a bunch of different dogs, so people can see that, like nervous dog, excited dog, crazy, whatever.
I would love that. I would love that.
Just see like the whole process from start to finish, like with just a bunch of dogs, and then the kid appropriate play would be a good one too, for sure.
Yeah, I love it. I would watch all of it. So
All
yeah,
right.
it's good. Thank you so much
Thanks,
for all
Andrea.
you do. We appreciate
My
you.
pleasure. I appreciate it. Thank you. Have a great one. Take
care.
care. All right, Pack. This was good. I mean, we went almost 3 hours, 2 hours 45. It's pretty good. I could keep going with this too. It's just I got shit to do, unfortunately. So you guys know, just so you're clear, we're for 2026. I told you earlier in this call that I'm really trying to make sure that we get to a point where we're like providing way more content, way more stuff. I'm dealing with navigating this whole Instagram thing and their process and all this stuff. It's once it's all done, I'm going to share with you guys so you can see the bullshit that I'm dealing with this kind of stuff. I just want to post and share information, but it's an issue. But we're going to go way harder in 2026, do this way more often. We're going to have the podcast coming. We're going to be sharing content from video calls that we do, like the private calls that we do, where if there's a good topic or a good thing that comes up, we'll share that with you guys. But yeah, it's the goal is to go. And I'm really trying to construct our business here, the business that I'm running here, where we do the training and boarding and daycare, all this stuff that we're doing here, the puppies and I'm just trying to get the business organized to a point where I'm not really required as much anymore, so I can spend more time doing the media stuff. So I'm doing two things here, which is we're trying to give you guys as much as I possibly can while still growing our business and providing our in-person services as much as we possibly can. So I'm navigating it and figuring it out. I see why people have these like big media teams and all this stuff that they do, because it requires a lot with all these comments and all the messages and this, but we're figuring it out. I appreciate you guys taking the time to listen. Thank you, TikTok, for listening. I hope you guys are getting something out of it. Instagram, I know I didn't get to see you guys, but we'll get to that too. We'll start taking some comments and stuff from TikTok and Instagram. We should do like a soul, like just for TikTok or just for Instagram, just because like they can't really send messages. I can't really see them. So thank you guys again. Amazing. Yeah, I know. She goes, you just cursed. I know. I'm working on it. Leave me alone, Julianne. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm doing my best on that. I know, because people say to me, like, look, I just want to be my authentic self to you guys. And it is what it is. If you like me, don't care. If you do like me, great. Let's talk more, whatever. But like I was saying to her, the cursing thing is a little bit of me trying to like audit my speech, which can sometimes make me feel a little inauthentic. But I am working on it because I don't want to be what do they call it, like the sailor guy who's just like cursing his face off, and people can't even like get through the cursing to hear the information. So I'm working on it, guys. Thank you again for taking the time to come in and listen to me. I really appreciate you guys. We're going to do these more and more. And we'll see you guys in the next one. I see all the comments. Love you all. Thank you, TikTok. Thank you, Instagram. Love you all. We will see you guys in the next one. And if you're interested in being on here, just pay attention to my stories. And we're planning on trying to do these on Thursdays. I'm just working out our holiday schedule and stuff. We're hoping to be way more consistent come January. So love you all. We will see you guys on the next one. Have a great one. Love you all.